Yeah, today we did a bit of a funky setup.
Yep.
So these mics will never be able to be turned off.
Okay, perfect. Live prior feed, that's there. Yep.
So, yeah, when you're not using them, I guess just shut it off and then like that.
Yeah, sweet as.
And then you've got some water there.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Is that it? Perfect. Right.
Yeah, you have to enunciate into it though.
Yeah.
And we don't have any headphones.
No stress, that's okay. What happens when you actually do 12 games at once, so it's obviously spread very thin with equipment, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Still a good positive. It was bright and sunny and no rain, which no one expected.
Yeah. Well, on the radar it says rain's coming. Yeah.
Please don't say that. At least run a cover.
Yeah, that's why we moved
minor
that.
positive.
Yeah. There you go, commentator.
Hey, how are you? Yes, not too bad. What do you do this football? Yeah, well, you know what? Don't lose that much. No, I know that. The wind is going to win this. I'm going to have to. I've got tape, which is like the one from the. I'll go get some. Oh, you're legend. Thank you. I'll go get some tape from the medical room. Great idea. Thank you, Vic. Oh. My brother's knocked off my binoculars. Oh, really? For my racing glasses. Yeah. I'm not fucking happy. No, that's understandable. So, I'm on a race for my life, so I carry them in my car all day. Where do you feel? So I work with Dr. Michael, I jump out. Good. I jump out for the weekend. Yeah. You ready calling it Yale Alexander yet? No, not yet. Actually, I was doing look at it down there. Yeah. And I thought a couple of months back. What about Willamine? Willamine, that's Penny Sproul's kid. Him and Josh Perry. Ben Sproul, he's my prize for him. Yeah, well, you know what, I'm trying to get like more like like there's much different Alexander, you know. Well, just like Yay, I've heard some stories about Willamine being a bit of a splitting place to call out with a lot of trees. Oh, Willamine. Willamine's a lot easier than Alexander on the game. Yeah, I know Yay can be a bit tedious. That's the way that it is. But yeah, I quite like calling down at Hillsville? Nah, I haven't called down yet. As I said, there's so many opportunities around, but there's so many people that like that are in my position. I first applied in 1979 in 2 years there. Yep. Sat next to Bill Collins, 20. Great.
Port Melbourne?
No, not yet. No.
Beats retired. He's at 77s. He'll go to the races still and get a box and stand on the box at the 150, 200 metre mark with his specs.
Yeah,
He'll
really.
pull the race by himself.
Well, okay, so
He loves to test himself to see if he's still got it.
I
love
like to I love going and doing like practice sports and stuff like that with the sharpening the skills. Because I'm going in quick. I'm sort of in a lucky position where I don't really have to practice as much. Practice is when the comes out and stuff.
Yep.
The Mornington, like started Mornington this week. I did Caulfield where last 2 weeks ago now. When Pinstripe and whoever else went around at Caulfield, that was Mornington Glory and stuff. That was quite good. It's good getting experience calling big horses, you know. It makes life a bit easier. But I still work in a stable, so I did like I'm sort of very lucky to right now. Still working.
Good.
Yeah, it's great to go on the form and grow up. Yeah, I'm good. There we go.
Good on.
Yeah, I sort of do. So I work in a stable in the morning, so I work in a stable this morning.
Oh, yeah.
4 o'clock, and straight from there, straight to playing footy. I live in Mornington, so driving up
Yes.
the way at the game, so I have about 45 minutes to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I leave about 8:30 for all the 19 games of 10, 10:40.
Yep.
And then go straight home for a little bit just to change and then come back.
Good on you.
They're long days, very long days.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
Can you make it off first field back?
Who you got?
Yeah, who's it? It's my first year,
Jesse.
So let's come and get I don't want to do
First year.
yeah, first year back.
Good on you.
31, 32 games. That's all right.
You know, I did.
Have a good show. We'll recognise it.
I did Carey v Caulfield in the goals 6 weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah, every Wednesday night.
I think you're a clubby.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm back by now.
Oh,
I would be doing B grade this afternoon if my Achilles wasn't playing up.
wow.
And then Catchy rang me this morning and he said, Mick, we've got 2 blokes that pulled out of C grade, can you help us? I said, no, I'm doing the broadcast.
Oh, everything you're doing.
See, I thought I pulled my ACL in the game, so I come up for about 10 minutes, got my ACL checked, but I'm young. I don't have any.
Yeah, Jess, I'll give it a mention. I called my first A grade grand final in '99.
Yeah, right. Premier A.
Yeah, Premier A, and then I did the final. I did it with Ross Booth one game at Coburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ross, well, we were coaching Coburg, and the reserve was finished. And we were going to win the seniors quite well, and Ross had come to lunch. And I said to Bern, I don't know, you don't need me today. The assistant coach has got nothing to do today. We win by 200 points. He said, well, mate, that's not good. And Bernie coached here in '97. And he said, what's on your mind? I said, well, Ross Booth said, I wouldn't mind sitting in the calling box.
Yeah, come on.
And so Ross said, yeah, come in. Because he'd interviewed me, we beat Werribee 3 or 4 weeks beforehand, and Werribee were on top. And it was a big win. It made the papers, etc. We're all out in the piss. Yeah, he was a great player. Sadly passed away. Oh, no. Ross was, yeah, he's a gentleman. He was an absolute beauty.
And so your name is Mick.
Mick Hagan.
Mick Hagan.
Yeah.
Nice, mate, Mick.
Hey, good on you, Jess.
Yeah,
No, I've got all the good. I've got Vaughan and Gina.
Yeah.
So we'll reach out to them, and Empire's doing a good job as always.
Yeah, you've always got to be on the ready for it.
Got 4 flags. Good boy. All good boys out there.
You bet before the players say, like, my goal was applied to me in my 19th game. I kicked the goal, cut out my knee. She gave it to me. So,
Yeah, that'd be prominently down, but
yeah, but once straight on the knee cut. I was lucky. So, I'm expecting you to be nice.
gift of the gods.
Yes, exactly. You need to give some to yourself for as well, you know. Repay the favour.
Anyways, well, good luck, fellas. We'll be acknowledging you from out there. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Jess. Good on you, big fella. Take care.
Lovely ground.
So, for you, Kale, first game in the 90s, Harry Coolers.
Yep.
He's 65.
Yep.
His first game. Under 19, Joey Watson. Under 19, Daniel Shepherd. So they've got 3.
So I've got only 3 without the numbers. Hamish Roy.
Okay, so right, here you go. Who do you want?
5. So I've got Harry 65.
Yeah, who else do you want?
Angus Evans.
Angus Evans is 21.
21.
And Hamish Roy is 16.
There we go. So that's very good on both sides. No changes to the team from
No changes to the team. Alex
Great.
Emery is last year's best and fairest for Trinity.
Yep.
Don Payman back from Coburg. And a young fellow I met him today, 4 games, Blair Ramshaw with the Dogs over the last month.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, played in the only just turned 19. Looking forward to seeing him play.
So
What a very important thing to do at 46.
yeah, well look, I'm just saying if he okay, I think that's a lot better than what I
Oh, he wants one.
Oh yeah, no, I put him over there right now. I had one of those sort of days today. I was all over the place and could have flunked one in the square. I'm not a very good contested mark, but I did all the body work and fitness and that's what I did. I gave myself every possibility 3 or 4 and I
You
come
think,
out
you
with one.
want to get some good photo. This bloke reckons he should be in the range.
He'll enjoy that. My boss will get on that. My boss will be close to that. Yeah, so my boss is baseball trainer. His name's Rob Blacker.
Yep.
So he's the club sponsor of Hyatt. That's why I came to Hyatt. He basically took the 9 numbers and I played it for a year. And he's like, do you want to play? And I said, yeah, keep going, man. I can put one have a run around again and get back to the swing of things a bit. And so yeah, it kind of all came together. The first game I played, I think we were going to play for the year.
What did you say?
Like 20 in a goal.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, this is all right. Paid it off for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Last 3 was a big 3 goals in 3 games. Had a decent year. So I'm not too disappointed. So, you coach at the Saints Next Gen Academy for 20 years.
Yeah. I've been there 6.
Okay, 6. So, I
The
feel
academy
like...
hasn't been around that long.
Yeah, no, I know. A few of my old teammates would have come through. Noah even Hargrave played a bit.
How old's he?
He's just turned 18. He would have been there.
Clinton or would have had him.
Yeah, because he's playing Stingrays.
Oh, was he down south though? Or
No,
St
so
Kilda?
he would have been St Kilda when he was a bit younger. But he was playing Stingrays now.
Oh, he's 18.
Yeah. I don't know if one of my good mates plays AFL now, but I don't know if he would have been Saints Academy. I think he was more interested in football netball.
Yeah.
He might be. No, I think he might be
He
old.
would have been my first year.
Yeah. And then Harvey Langford, did he ever come through? Or is he just?
Yeah, he came
Yep. So he's one of my good mates.
Should have taken a very important draft in the centre square against St Kilda, and St Kilda wouldn't have won.
He's
Just turned the body the wrong way, and obviously
he's got the most amount of media attention in the whole country. Jordan Lewis come out and said he's going to be the best player in the comp. And I was playing golf with him the next day, and I said, oh, so you're copping a lot of media this week, Langers? And he goes, oh, yeah, he goes, Jordan, and then I said something, he goes, oh, Jordan Lewis, best player of all time. What? I went, oh, he said, is that how it works? He goes, yeah, he goes, I can't say anything bad. He's the best player of all time. Right. On 3 minutes.
now you know go to these microphones are alive all day.
Always on. Yeah, I've had good fun learning that with
show?
No, I haven't.
Coach Richardson?
No.
No, he's still our boy.
He's
My brother's here at school. Here's one for you. My brother was chief racing handicap in Victoria.
Oh, really?
Melbourne Corporate
Yeah. Well,
David Hayden.
yeah. Well, if he wants to, we've got a young stayer coming through in about 2 years' time. Fingers crossed.
Keep him fit, no weight on the back.
But yeah, I was going to say, fingers crossed he's got the tracking well. But if he wins a nice lead up, make sure he doesn't get thrown off again.
Hey, Manny! Lace out! Lace out! Gunful forward of the 90s for Zebs. Can really throw.
How would you pronounce number 4? Spencer Farah.
Berenger.
Farah, right, okay. Some of these names on paper, you just don't know.
We'll try feed them across the top so they're not away. There we go. Well, that'll do. Where are we? Right to go.
Welcome to the VAFA Premier B match of the day on VAFA TV. It's an incredibly big round here at the VAFA. The first Premier B showcase round that they are doing with, I believe, 12 games broadcasted simultaneously as Fitzroy take the field. I'm very privileged to be joined by Mick Hagan to my left, who, as we enjoy the Fitzroy boys running out onto the ground for what is going to be a fantastic clash. We'll just let them do all their cheering. I think the other boys have just had a pretty solid win over Trinity, so they're trying to see if they can do the double. Mick, it's great to have you beside me. We're going to have some pretty good stories told today, obviously on the football field and by you personally. You've already told a couple while I've just been sat down talking pre-game. What's to be expected from today's clash? Because two teams on complete opposite ends of the spectrum, one 12-3, and the other one 2-13, coming off a 79-point loss last week at the hands of old Ivanhoe, referring to Fitzroy when we talk about that. Two teams very opposite ends of the spectrum.
Thanks, Carl. Good afternoon, listeners, and welcome to the Miles Oval here out at Trinity in Bulleen. It's a fantastic day.
And again, the Ammos have got the numbers. Filipovic, a low kick. Oh, spinning through his Emery. Highs the sticks and drills it.
Looks to open things up on the right boot. Kate Stanton bends it around the body, and she's done it!
It's high up and under the full foot. Becky's taken a ripper!
A lovely ball, and that came up down Woofenden from the boundary. You are kidding!
Peg the margin back to 4 points. High kick. It's a beauty.
And they've won the flag in 2024.
Does the boys from Fitzroy. All up, when I spoke to Travis was looking for a competitive game for his boys, hang in there, play tough footy, which is naturally expected by a senior coach. On the other side of the coin, Donald looking forward to his under-19 boys to step out. They've got a few out, and they've got a big game coming up next week against old Ivanhoe ladder leaders. So Donald's boys will want to put it together today, I'm sure, Cale.
Yeah, no, it should be a fantastic game of football. This is obviously the Saturday warm-up, thanks to Medical Care, providing care for more than 16,500 people each week across Greater Melbourne and regional Victoria since 1959. So as we mentioned, two teams at the opposite ends of the spectrum. Obviously, Old Trinity are 12-3. They're second on the ladder, and they're a massive chance to press their agenda for top spot leading into the final series. They would run out 19-point winners last week, 83 to 64 over Old Geelong. And Dominic Payman with 5 goals and in the best last week. He looking for a big performance from him again this week.
Look, Dom Payman's played a few games at Coburg, as you know, Cale, and he certainly can play. Number 27, for those here today watching the game, he'll be an important cog in this Trinity side, as you say, as they head towards the finals campaign.
Well, it's going to be a big finals campaign coming up. As we mentioned, there's two teams at the top of the ladder sort of within a game of each other. So Old Trinity really want that top spot, a minor premiership. And if we're looking at Fitzroy as well, they are 2-13. They are looking to cause a massive boil over today. But as you said, they can do that with all the numbers that are out for Old Trinity.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for Fitzroy nonetheless. When I looked at today's setup, they've got 191 games of experience on the ground today from this year has Trinity versus Fitzroy's 165 games of experience on the ground today. From a reserves perspective, Fitzroy, as you'd imagine, they've had quite a run with injuries. They've got 63 games of reserves out there as opposed to Trinity with 23 experience. We've got some wonderful players across the board. Going in to look at Trinity, Christos Manikis played for the VAFA, and across the board to Fitzroy, VAFA seniors Darcy Laurie, and then we look at a young fellow, only 19, who's had the last month with the Footscray Dogs, being led Ramshaw. He's one to look forward to, number 46.
Well, he seems to have his football going a lot better than mine at the age of 19. I'm playing 19s for Hyatt in the second division and averaging a lean maybe half a goal a game. So he seems like his football is going pretty well, and he's got a big opportunity today to have an impact on this game. Obviously, they did lose by 79 points last week, Fitzroy to Old Ivanhoe. Caleb Harwood was a bit of a bright spot with 3 goals. He can have a good influence on the game today. It's going to be a real tussle, and fingers crossed we get some good matchups across the board.
Yes, Cale, that's what you want to see from the outset. We've got a wonderful setup from umpires today, reaching out to Vaughan and Gina. They're experienced in this caper, and they're being supported also in the goals by Jesse. It's his first year in the VAFA, and Craig. Between them, they've done about 100 games. Between Vaughan and Gina, they've done close enough to 400. So we've got a lot of wonderful experience out there with the referees.
I don't know about you, Mick, but I love seeing the old Fitzroy colours go around. It's such an iconic staple of Australian football. Obviously, as we know, Fitzroy was phased out when the Brisbane Lions became a thing, and it's very... Well, they were the Bears for a period of time. It was before my time, but they were the Bears and they were the Lions, but they were Fitzroy before that.
Yes, they were, Cale. Many favourite memories of going to the Junction Oval in the 70s to watch some stars. Ron Alexander, Gary Wilson, just a champion player Gary Wilson was. Bernie Quinlan crossed from the Dogs to Fitzroy. That was an acquisition of enormous talent for someone to leave Footscray for so long and go to Fitzroy. And of course, as you've alluded to, it was a great shame when Fitzroy left the VFL and of course then progressed to the Brisbane Bears and obviously, as we know it now, the Brisbane Lions. And look, at the end of the day, I do have a few friends that really have stuck true. They love the colours, they love the Lions, and you know, in the long run, it's worked out very well.
Well, the teams are just huddling up now. They're about to break their huddle. Obviously, Trinity first one's out of theirs. Fitzroy still a bit of a tightly compact group. Do you have a prediction for us today, Mick? Who comes out on top? Obviously, two teams on very opposite ends of the spectrum, and it could get ugly, but fingers crossed we have a good game of football.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to a great representation from Jack Hart. He's played all 15 this year for Fitzroy. He's a wonderful player. We'll look out for him, number 1. He'll be around defence. And Alex Emery is the best and fairest winner from Trinity last year. He's an absolute jet. He's number 2. I think, look, at the end of the day, where they are, as you said, alluded to earlier, Cale, they are at opposite ends on the ladder. Fitzroy just want to stick true and thin. Trinity need to deliver in preparation for the finals, get their game going. I would think that it'd be Trinity at home to the better of 7.
Well, you hope that those sort of teams that especially at the top of the ladder can come together at the right time. We're really late in the year now with only a couple of weeks away from finals, and obviously Old Trinity are really trying to press the agenda, but both teams have found their way into starting positions. It seems we've brought a bit of colder weather with us as we've started the broadcast off. The sun's disappeared. The dark clouds have rolled in overhead, and this game of football is about to get underway. We're about 2 minutes past start time. Two rucks in the middle of the ground. Umpires will look at each other and just waiting on the bounce of the ball here. The main umpire in the middle of the ground is just having a conversation.
Side bottom.
Yeah, a couple of...
He's looking left and right to see if the goal umpires are set up. It's one of the requirements of the fieldies.
Well,
over to you, Cale. Take it away.
Ball is raised, and this game of football about to get underway. Stretching in the ruck for Fitzroy. Rose high, got a good hand to it. So Fitzroy with the early play. Quick handball out the back to Burr. Now a bit of dash and run. Goes to the kick to a leading player, and great hands there from Rex Richardson. Leading off the half-forward line. Goes to the short pass, cut off. Trinity look to now press their agenda. Good bit of speed there and a little fend. Now a kick up to half-forward. Ball gets out the back. This is danger because Payman kicked 5 last week, has 1 on the board already. Dribbles it home from 35, and old Trinity strike first blood.
Yeah, good passage of play there. Trinity were able to get a loose ball across half-back, between half-back and centre, and a good decision by the boy from Trinity, cutting to the left, sticking to the corridor on a big ground with a little breeze perhaps going to their way. Long kick into space, which is always favourable to forwards where they can catch the defender out in front, and it's a foot race to the goal square, and you picked it, Cale, the opener for Trinity. Payment, 1 on the board.
It's never a nice feeling as a key back when you're sitting under a high ball, a ball coming in and it gets over your back and you know the forward's behind you. It's never a fun situation. We do battle in the middle again as Stratch and Rose High once again just pummels it towards half forward. Fitzroy have to win the battle in the middle. Look at the big ruckman. Acrobatic, palms it in one hand. Now Tarver round the body, kick inside 50, off hands. Hayward not paid the mark, snaps it home anyway. It's just to the left-hand side though. So a minor score to begin Fitzroy's account today. 1 goal straight, playing 1 behind. And I don't think Caleb Hayward, who kicked 3 goals last week, as I mentioned, was a bit of a bright, but I don't think he thought he was paid the mark there.
No, he had a little bit of time, didn't he, Cale, as Trinity get ready to send the ball back into the conveyance. The conveyance is on its way out to half-back flank.
Goes long down the line, has a couple of options. Great body work out the back from what looked to be Ferrai, who's done very well. Now up in the direction of the superstar Payment. Held not paid, then went to ground. Holding their own at the moment. Fitzroy just a little bit scrappy around the corners. Ramshaw just let the ball get past him. Just not clean at the moment, Fitzroy. In and under, and a stoppage will be convened about 53 out from Trinity's goal.
We've got the FAFA scoreboard reading 1 straight Fitzroy, 1 straight Trinity, 1 behind to the Roys.
2 rucks duel again, spinning around there. Barron Dirt now, kick goes inside 50. Looking to play from behind here. A couple of these Fitzroy defenders. Then Payman, who's found a lot of the footy early. They found a free kick. Don't know whose direction it's going. A lot of pointing. It's the non-officiating umpire who's paid this one. It's not going Payman's way for his second. Just wait to see if we can find a number here as he turns around. There it is. It's Ben Curtin who will line up.
You don't see that often, Cale.
Not officiating umpire paying a free kick.
Kicking one that close to goal when they're a fair way out. But nonetheless, as you alluded to,
very interesting style of holding the football here for Ben Curtain, who now on the runway from 30 out directly in front delivers. Old Trinity with their second of the afternoon. They pull ahead 2 straight, 12 or 2 goals, nothing, 12 to just the 1 minor score for Fitzroy. That's thanks to McGrath Real Estate. They've been providing real estate, and they're proud to be Old Trinity's major sponsor for 2025 for expert local knowledge and service. Contact Alex Morgan at McGrath, Ivanhoe or South Yarra. Good passage of play there, just an unlucky free kick.
Unlucky free kick. A little bit tidier early, aren't they, Trinity?
Yeah, well, Fitzroy are getting their hands on the football, and they seem to be winning it out of the source, which is the stoppages in the middle of the ground. They're just not able to lock it in their forward half. Ball comes out too easy, and they're just lacking cleanliness.
Yeah, Caleb Harbour would have been disappointed with that miss around the corner from 15.
Well, Ramshaw talked him up in pre-game. He's right in the guts early and gets a little touch on it, but was wrapped up immediately. So, cool battle again in the middle of the ground. Strachan's got a really good leap on him. Gets very high and gets a good hand to it. Ramshaw then bulldozes through. Just in and under, paddling. And we should get another stoppage here, just favouring Fitzroy's side of the ground, as I just saw a little bit of rain drop, and now a second drop right on the table in front of us. Fingers crossed it doesn't get too wet, because these pieces of paper in front of me could go by the wayside.
It is getting a little bit dark.
Manasakis, good ball into the middle of the ground. Found a teammate, Davidson, who fired a handball to a running player. Looking to lower the eyes, going inside 50. A very good hit. And Alex Emery, as you mentioned, a superstar of this side, will have a shot from about 48 metres out when he kicks.
How was that passed, Cale?
They are so clean.
That was a worm burner. I reckon there's 100 worms out there that are now dead. It barely missed the top of the carpet. It went from the outer side wing to the inside of the corridor, straight down the middle. And as you alluded to, Emery's taken an absolute grass burner, and he lines up from about 45 when he kicks.
Well, Alex Emery, not a lot of wind to speak of. A little bit of rain trickling down now. Kicks at 49 out. It looks very good. Umpire shuffles. Alex doesn't give away much, but it's gone through the middle. And, well, Trinity have their third goal of the afternoon. That's 3 straight to 1- score, a 17-point margin. And we've only played about 5 minutes in this game, and it's already starting to blow right open.
Yes, this is a little bit unfortunate for Fitzroy. They wouldn't have wanted to have a start like this to the home team. And look, whilst the home team is going with a slight breeze, they are playing a lot better in terms of tidy football, clean football. They're getting out into the open. The other team, a little bit scrappy.
Well,
we've won 6 minutes in the first term.
One to make note of as well, that's been Fitzroy who have been the dominant team around these early centre bounces, and they're going to do it again here and try to go forward, a push out going the way of the ruckman. So Strachan will get a free kick in the middle of the ground. Oh, rather sorry to be Harrison Grace, who's won himself the free and a 50-metre penalty to go with it. So here's a bit of fortune for Fitzroy. They need a little bit of an opportunity. They had one early, which just was pushed to the left, and here for their first goal of the afternoon will kick about 20 metres out, will Harrison Grace.
He spent a little bit of time at the Northern Bull Ants. Got a little bit of form, talent obviously, and he comes in from point-blank range, 25 out.
Well, the rain has started to come. Grace, umpire does a little dance, but it's through the middle. And first goal of the afternoon for Fitzroy, 1-1-7, playing 3 straight, 18 and 11-point margin at the 7-minute mark of the first term. And these pieces of paper in front of me aren't going to last long, I would feel.
Yes, it might be a battle to recognise our sponsors reasonably quickly. For the love of the game, the VAFA's official weekly podcast with all the latest news, views and happenings from around the VAFA. Download it wherever you can get your podcasts.
It's an amazing initiative as well, this Premier B round that they're doing with every single team, as Darcy Lowry tried to palm it down in the way of Trinity, and in and under there from Oliver Scott as they get a stoppage on the outer wing. It's a great initiative, giving the Premier B some mainstream VAFA attention.
Oh yeah, and it's the right idea, because there's a lot of genuine followers in every section of VAFA football. The true supporters, a few at home that just can't get to a game, but they would love to hear their particular team on the radio, the broadcast, go to the podcast, etc. You're spot on, Cale. It is genuinely fantastic for everyone in VAFA football.
Well, it's been a great initiative, and obviously big thank you needs to go to all the broadcasting people on this side of the VAFA, and to Jason Bennett, who does a fantastic job coordinating rosters for all the broadcaster games each week, and now to find a way to pull so many people together for this game, or these games of football over this round, as the ball's brought back into play deep in Trinity's half. Happy to take it in both hands. Payman, kick towards the square. Has he got a touch on it? I don't think he has. Umpire. Well, there you go. That's a great finish. Looks to come off the boot of Lewis Davidson, who has finished that. And all the ruck work credit needs to go to Dominic Payman. He's already got one of the afternoon. Did the deed in the ruck, and was able to find a teammate. So that's 4 straight for Trinity. They're kicking accurately, and they lead by 17 in this early part of the game.
It did. It reminded me of a particular ruck setup, Sydney and St Kilda a couple of weeks ago. Late in the game, Grody got it to Errol Gilden, who swung across the kick across the body clean. There was no one stopping the corridor, and that's exactly what just took place there for Trinity. It's another one on the board, 4-0-24, 1-1-7.
Well, this rain seems to be just holding off for the moment. Trinity getting a bit of superiority now around the contest. Good hands, Oliver Scott. Fired a handball out to his teammate. It was Teal with a bit of run there. Now Trinity look to go inside. That kick to a leading forward once again. I've called his name many times, Payman. Happy to pursue the boundary. They want to keep it in, Trinity, but the boundary umpire says that it has gone over the hard white line, and we will have deep forward 50 boundary throw in, and Dominic Payman looks to be doing the ruck here against Connor Lester. So they'll both duel at 40 metres out from goal. Let's see if he'll try to take it out of the ruck here again. Payman gets front position, goes to both hands, had Scott streaming past. Now Fitzroy will go the other way through Kelly. Took his time, was nearly mown down. Kick went askew. Here you go, Trinity. They're just a little bit more clean. Snap around the body on the left from Jenkins, and he loves it. Jack Jenkins, his first of the afternoon, and it's a bit of a clinic at the moment if you're a fan of Old Trinity. They are so clean.
Yeah, JJ Jenkins put his first major on the board for this afternoon, and Trinity are looking to run a riot here at the Miles Oval this afternoon. We're not even inside 8 or 9 minutes yet, maybe near 9 minutes, and they got 5 straight majors on the board.
On track for 200.
On track for 200, that would be something.
Fingers crossed for viewers at home, it won't be a 200 to 50. We're hoping for a closer game, but footy has a way of doing some. Obviously, two teams very much on the end of the spectrum when it comes to the ladder. So
you could see what the Fitzroy defender was trying to do there. Switch the play was the right decision. Just a little bit long, holding the agate in his hands.
Well, the two rucks once again will reconvene in the middle. Harrison Thompson doing the ruck duties there for Trinity. But a free kick awarded the way of Leicester, or rather it might actually go to Harwood here. So Leicester doing the rucks. So middle of the ground here. Caleb Harwood just going to send it long. Has a forward on the lead. The run, the jump. Just got under the football there a little bit.
Lockie Mulcahy. A beautiful mark.
As the kick comes wide. Commentary side. First time they've really used this wing this afternoon. Short ball inside off the boot of Teal. He finds a teammate. Slow build up. First time we've seen this today from Old Trinity. Has an option in front of us. Charlie Kummer instead goes long down the line for Miles Scott, who flew, and great set of hands from Scott. Able to take the mark. So Miles Scott here right in front of us. Going to reel and go on the left and pump it long inside 50. Guess who's standing underneath the Payman? Front position, both hands to it. Played for the free kick, didn't get it. Out the back now, a little bit of composure. Cross goal Evans. Don't know about the decision. They're happy to rush her behind. It was Shepherd there. Oh, they paid a free kick.
Gee, right at the top of the goal square.
Well, I don't know if he's paid deliberate or it might have been a hold. That's what he gestured. He gestured with a hold. Payman getting stuck into someone here at the moment.
Wasn't a lot in it, Cale.
Well, the free kick's been paid. Quick snap, 5 metres out. Might have missed it here. Saying it's gone over the post. It's a behind. Well, if the footy gods were a thing, they were on display right there.
And the umpire, the goal umpire's lost his flag off the top of his post. Off the top of the stick. This is interesting.
While they go fetch the ball, we'll just make note of one as well. I got a goal taken away from me a couple of weeks ago. In my game of footy, because it brushed the goal umpire's flag on the way through.
Correct.
So that's it was a very weird one. I did send in.
Are we questioning the compliance of the goal umpire? He should have had that neatly tucked away.
Yeah, so I don't think the flag should be a part of the post anyway. Ellis out of full back, sends it long. Good pair of hands there from Littlefield. Was able to get a touch to it, but then brought it to ground, and Trinity are able to lock it in their forward half here with a stoppage about 60 out from their goal. You can see it's a really condensed ground. We've got 38 of the something players on the ground. They're all condensed in one area. As the Fitzroy have an opportunity here on the fast break. Corliss gets out the back.
We might have a count if there's 38 on the ground, Cale.
Yeah, look, my math isn't the strongest. Kick goes inside forward 50. Oh, teammates got in each other's way. Looked like the kick was intended there for Hamish Roy. Might get his hands on it here anyway. Shepherd in and under. Good tackle applied. Fitzroy just fanning it out the back. A little bit dangerous, and now they could be hurt on the counter-attack, and Trinity are out. Payman leads back towards the square. Is going to get it anyway. It's a great defensive effort there, though, from Ellis. Able to come up at the ball carrier and cut it off. Boundary line's their friend here, Fitzroy. They want to keep it in, though. Harwood wrapped up in a tackle by 2. And then a kick is smothered there on the outer wing. It's furthest most point of the ground away from us. Back into the hands of Harwood, who's had a lot of it early. That's a good retreating kick into the hands of Lowry. So, bit of run and dash. Doesn't really have anyone to go to, but instead picks a good option out. Finds a target here. Reeling and going now. Torba goes long inside 50 or long up to the 50. A little bit of a spinning effort there from Corliss, and the kick goes at goal. It's a bit of a spannering ball. Jordan leads back into the chase. Doesn't fire a teammate. Now tries to find the boot. He's given a long time by the umpire. Hart goes and lays a tackle. Picked up now. Deep in the pocket, and Jordan not able to get a boots or ball. Boundary line of win out. It's frenetic football end to end.
Yep, there it was, Carl. Just having a look at Payman's lead-in patterns. Trinity came up the wing there before. He would have been better running back towards the goals. He ran deep to the boundary to the scoreboard, and it was an easy one for the Roys to defend.
Well, 2 rucks to battle deep in Fitzroy's forward pocket. Wen had the football and then was taken over. So we've played a bit over 15 minutes here in this first term. Margin sits at 25 points for the moment, or 26, 24. There we go. It's third attempt. As I said, my math is not strong. It probably would have been a subject to pay better attention in. There's a 2 rucks duel again. It's snapping kick at goal. Harry Coulis, who's been all over the place early.
It's his first game today, the young fella, number 65.
Can see why he's been picked. Very lively, very energetic, brings a bit of a dash and a bit of cleanliness to the Fitzroy forward line. This a bit of a mongrel kick out, but it's going to work. Finds its way into Cummer's hands. So Charlie Cummer goes backwards. There's no real intent to move the ball forward here. Just happy to take the options. That, just gets enough depth to get to the back. Berendert now will work this out down the line, but a great intercept mark there.
Lovely mark by the Roys. Half-back flank.
Angus Evans, and he bites off a bit more than he could probably get there as Grace fired a handball inside now. Strachan goes deep inside, forward 50. There's a jumper hold. Umpire not paid. Past the hands of Coulis. Now in pursuit of it, Leicester. Picked it up cleanly. Fired a handball back inside to Coulis. Swings onto the right, but just a little bit to the left, and by a little bit, it has missed everything and smacked the BMW on the roof.
It has indeed. Good to see the young fellow involved in the last 5 minutes. It would do a lot for his confidence. First game in senior football. He's had a little bit of it in the last 1 or 2 minutes.
As that ball heads its way down towards my car down in the soccer fields. Fingers crossed it hasn't hit my car. It's a car that I cannot afford to fix.
What are you driving, Carl? A 1966 FJ Holden?
No, unfortunately just a 2013 Ford Focus, but due to the recent lawsuits against Ford Focus, I'm actually going to get the purchase price of the car back, which is great. Best investment I've ever made. Anyway, ball brought back into play. It's going to be a big contest down the line. Strachan there. Ball gets to the back. Both hands do it from Ferrier. And the umpire says, I'll have that one. It's a very cold August day here in Melbourne as the football's brought back into play. Ramshaw led in the pursuit to it. Was bodied out of the way. And Old Trinity, they do this so well. A bounce from Manasakis. Then an unclean handball. Emery picked it up well, though. Manasakis gets it back, sends it up towards half forward. That's a great pair of dukes there from Thompson.
Gee, the kick was superb. Beautifully weighted.
Bit of run and dash.
It wasn't nailed, the kick. It was put out into space. And the big fella from Trinity, he just strolled into that mark, Harrison Thompson.
Well, Thompson got the height. Looked like it had the trip off the boot. Definitely got the height. Look at the pair of hands there from Jenkins. Quick kick at goal.
Straight through the high diddle-diddle, Ed Chard.
It's come off the boot of Charter. They've got goal number 6 of the afternoon, and that pushes the margin out to 30 points.
Yeah, clean hands again there by Trinity, Cale.
Jack Jenkins has a lot of burst and a lot of shimmy and shake, which I like about some footballers. But it's the people that can make space for themselves and create opportunities. That's
yes, they dance one way and everyone else dances the other.
That's why people say I've often heard this said that being a small forward is the easiest position to play in the AFL. I disagree because I think you have so little opportunity to find the football and you have to create so much with it. But then also, when you don't have the ball, you have to create opportunities to gain the ball by pressure and chase and all these sort of things. So it's unlike being a midfielder where you're around the ball 24/7.
Yeah, and you have very little time.
Yes, that's a very good point.
Someone off the half-back flank can see the ball going to come out that way, and they can prepare their run for 15 seconds, and it'll eventually spill out to them.
Yes. Anyway, bit of a frontal attack here from Fitzroy. Good handball in the middle of the ground there. Nelson went the proverbial just kick it and pray. Lands about 40 metres out from goal. Past the hands there of Grace, and now they're trying to work their way through this Fitzroy, but the umpire has said that's holding the football, and Trinity will go the other way. That kick a little bit too hot here for Jenkins. Commentary side wing does well in a one-on-one, then breaks the tackler really well, Jenkins. Good shimmy in the hips, as I mentioned. Curtin got it back to Jenkins, doing so much with it. Now they get it forward. Ball in the hands of Emery. He gives another one back inside to Oliver Scott. Jenkins. Back to Jenkins. How about this run from Jenkins? Just to the left. Would have made the VAFA social media page that. Unfortunately,
the VAFA goal of the year.
Goal of the year, goal of the week, goal of everything.
From the wing position, he picked up 5 possessions, worked the process out well, directed traffic, and just missed with a minor.
It was just the run, the tackle breaking ability. Talk about creating something out of nothing. Good kick down the line here, Fitzroy. They're trying to get some offense going their way. Ingpen out the back. Great kick, Belcher. Worked it wide. Very good. Now the ball in the hands of Curtin, who will take his opportunity. Gesturing as if he's going to go long. Going to trust his key forwards. Didn't get all of that. Kick ball's a little bit shallow. Good body work in and under. Now it's coming back out Fitzroy's way. Through the hands of Shepherd. Long kick down the line. Asked a lot of heart. Did well in a one-on-one. Did Belcher. And they're happy to see it over the boundary line. So, just ticked over 21 minutes played in the first quarter. It's a 31-point ball game. If you've just joined us, Trinity off to a hot start. They kicked truly with their first 4 majors of the afternoon. And they lead by 31, 6-2, 38, playing 1-1-7. As the ball's brought back into play. A little bit of a jumper hole, but a good dash there from Tom Wen, who is going to get it back here, then taps it back inside. They've worked this really well. Short ball off the boot of Davidson. Finds a leading forward, and Chard will line up for goal number 2 of the afternoon.
Louis Davidson having a good afternoon, very clean.
It's one of those things that you just notice. They've had enough of the football, Fitzroy. They actually have got the entries. They just haven't had the cleanliness of what Old Trinity have had. They're so well drilled. Going to make a very good push at a premiership this year. And on the runway now, Edward Chard goes in. It hits the floater, but it's got there. Oh, if he could have his time again on the shape that the football was spinning, he probably would. But goes dead straight and goes through the middle. So their 7th goal of the afternoon, pushing the margin out to 37, I believe, if I'm not incorrect there. I think I'm right. The math might be back in check.
Yeah, you're back in check, Cale. You did inquire what my prediction might have been just before the bounce, and I said, well, 7 goals to the better of the Trinity home team.
Are we amending the statement?
By the end of the game, I think we need to review the maths because our suggestion is going to be a little bit off.
Well, 7-2-44 plays 1-1-7. That is obviously with thanks to McGrath Real Estate with that first quarter scoreboard update. As a holding free kick paid in the middle of the ground, going the way of Trinity. Well, the non-adjacent umpires pointing Trinity's way. The main umpire's pointing Fitzroy's way. We've got a bit of confusion here, but in the end, I think it's going to...
the middle of the Roys.
Yeah,
Can they make something of this
They're
one?
winning it at the sources. Johnson plays on, goes the short ball. Grace has a short option here out wide. Ramshaw, who's worked well, Lewis Ramshaw, is going to go back in the end. Harrison Grace now. One of the tallest players on the field, Harrison Grace. A large and very tall individual. Kick goes inside 50. Just over the head there of Hart, but he's going to win himself a free kick. Tunneled under it there in the marking contest. And Jack Hart, the skipper, will line up from about probably 45 metres out. Probably will kick right on 50.
Yes, Cale. Look, the big fella there for Fitzroy, when he had the kick the very first time, the free kick, the forward line was open. Hart made that lead. It was a little bit disgruntled. Forward line became congested. They went back and forth. Anyway, they've found its target. And the young fella from Fitzroy lining up from 45.
Jack Hart, very pure kick of a football, just fading right. I've put the commentator's curse on him, but It
You
is.
know, I think there's a time when you've got to accelerate when the forward line's open. Mucking around with the football at AFL, type of AFL replication, sometimes doesn't work via AFA football.
Well, we're at an even 36 now, so 6 goals the margin, a timely spoil, then off the hands of Johnson. They're trying to get it going their way, Fitzroy, and they do. Kick just smothered as they look to go inside 50. That's a better kick and a much better option. And an opportunity now for Fitzroy to kick their second of the afternoon. And guess who? Caleb Harwood, who we've called his name a few times this afternoon, kicked 3 last week. Has been everywhere so far in this first quarter for Fitzroy, one of their best, and an opportunity to line up for, is it his second of the afternoon already? Did he kick there first?
Could he kick there first? He's got more bandages on him than a horse in the mounting yard, and you wouldn't put your money on the horse in the mounting yard. Anyway, he's lining up.
Well,
half forward flank outer side of the ground. Fitzroy, badly needing a major.
It's a big kick here for Caleb. Lines up, umpire shuffles, and it's just drifted to the left. So their third minor score to go with their one major. But a good couple of signs here late in the quarter with an opportunity to just impact the scoreboard. They haven't gone in those last 2, but it's 7-2-44, playing 1-3-9 as the ball's in the back pocket. If you're watching this Premier B match of the day here on VAFA TV, sun has just started shining through the clouds once again, and it's a fantastic day for football. Kick goes long down the line, gets to the back. Barrendert now just gets it going forward. Here they go again. Kick goes inside 50 on the head of Payment. Ball gets to the back. It's a bit of a foot race here under a lot of pressure, Alice. Pirouette's inside, though. Great composure. Kick across goal. Probably wouldn't do it myself, but it's worked out. Now Lowry.
Good bit of leg speed there by Maxie Ellis.
Yeah, very good. Got beaten out the back on the first possession of the game to give up the first goal to Trinity as that one goes through the hands there of Kelly. Wrapped up in a tackle and ripped away for played on advantage, says the umpire. Kick around the body, Curtin has Payman. Marks will line up for number 2.
Yes, they got the advantage play there for the umpire. They took the advantage. And it was a 2-1 situation deep in the heart of goal, and it's worked out quite easily for Trinity.
Well, it's not a lot of fun when you have to play one out against a key forward, especially one that kicked 5 last week. Playing for one of the best teams in the competition, that says a lot. Payman now, 5 metres out, can't miss, won't miss, and that's their 8th of the quarter, Trinity. 8-2-50 to 1-3-9. It's an absolute blowout here so far in the first quarter, and we talked about being on track for 200. They are if they replicate this the next 3 quarters.
They will, Cale. Well, look, it builds well for next week when they've got the hose. That's 1v2. Should be an absolute ripper of a game. And
how's the scheduling on that as well? So late in the year when finals are right around the corner.
It'll be a humdinger, as they say.
Jason Bennett, please get a broadcasting crew down to that. That'll be absolute fireworks. It's been a good standard of footy so far from Old Trinity. They look like they can match it with the William Buck Premier Men's.
Where is that next week? Chelsworth or here?
That's a good question. I haven't checked the fixture.
We will check it at the break.
We'll find that out.
To look forward to.
It's going to be a very good game as Strachan Pirouette's out of trouble. Kick inside 50. Just too hot for Caleb Harwood. And now they're going to work their way through this. Into Corliss's hands. Run down, unfortunately for him. Had an opportunity there and a first major in his debut, but has been lively early despite that.
Oh, you feel for the young fella there. There's not a lot going right for Fitzroy, and when you see a first gamer, you'd love to see a little bit of a smile on the dial, and the young fella put it through. Not to be, there'll be another opportunity.
Oh, this kick long down the line. Happy to play this Wade late in the quarter, but look at that. A good intercept mark and a bit of dash. Lowry, it looks to be, goes back inside. Ball doesn't get to the back. Instead, off the hands. Ramshaw bending. Not there. Just to the right-hand side, so they're 4th behind of the afternoon. And it's a level 40-point game, 8-2-50 playing 1-4-10 at the 28.5-minute mark of the first quarter. So ball brought back into play. It's a very long kick from the kicking. Gets up to nearly true centre wing. Old Trinity able to funnel it out, keeping their space really well. Their structure noticeable. Good bit of a bump put in there, but Wen got it through. And now Old Trinity They're going for payment, wanting to play behind Ellis, who was a bit smarter there. Ball might come back, though, because Old Trinity are well set up. That little flick on doesn't work. And that little tap there from Emery just got Doida in a bit of trouble.
Gee, I just watched Emery then. He worked off the outside of the half-back flank with the ball. He gave it to the corridor. He wouldn't have been involved in the next 3 touches, but he got the 4th towards centre-half forward.
Well, as Nelson just puts one down the line for Corliss, the young man. Look at the underground handball, bit of magic there. Wanted Hart, didn't get it to him. Now it's Old Trinity again, pressing the agenda. Ferrier now gave the handball off. Belcher's going to send it up towards half forward. Good handball, another good handball. Davidson, they just surging the football forward, Trinity, but this is coming back out, and it should go Fitzroy's way, but that is a courageous mark.
Oh, terrific mark.
A colossus mark from Ingpen. He's gone back with the flight. That is, well, I dare say it, Sean Darcy, Nick Rewald-esque.
James Ingpeng take a bow. That was the VAFA mark of the day here at Trinity. Miles, as the Trinity boys go to the top of the goal square.
Well, the kick come in from Littlefield, but Payman appealing for a free kick, not going to get it.
Gee, that was a magnificent mark, Cale.
Oh, you got to admire ones like that, back with the flight, courageous. Looked like Fitzroy were out and instead turns the tide, and they're trying to surge it forward, Fitzroy, which has been a bit of a struggle here as we tick over 30 minutes with a 40-point margin in the first term. And a throw-in about 55 out from Trinity's goal, which has been the scoring end. Look, if we're trying to give Fitzroy a bit of help here, it could be a 7-goal win. There's no wind, but we're trying to be optimistic.
It could be. You feel there might be a little breeze going that way, but I tell you what, they need a gale going that way in the second quarter.
Well, in the beautiful precinct of Trinity College, there's plenty of sporting areas around. We've got football fields, soccer fields, sort of a bit of hockey going on around the precinct as well, as Lowry breaks a tackle, fed the handball off to Strachan, and now it's in the hands of Fitzroy. Handball backwards, though. Watson goes back inside. Good ball. So they're just trying to work their way through it, Fitzroy. That kick cut off, though.
Another great mark
Miles
there.
Scott has marked. 31 minutes gone. You feel he'd want to go quick, but he's happy to be patient. Bit of red time football. Kick goes inside. Payman will leap from 4 deep. Got both hands to it. Couldn't complete it, though. Fitzroy well set up to get this out as the siren sounds. That kick a very dangerous one. But a very, very efficient quarter rather, for Old Trinity, who lead 8-2-50 to 1-4-10 at the end of the first. And this game of football, well, it's not over yet, obviously. They've still got 3 quarters to play, but a very, very hot start from the team, who are 12-3 and looking to press their agenda for top spot. They're only a game behind, I believe, at last check, and yet to check the impending results here from the other Premier B action that is going around, that is being broadcasted across the screens of VAFA with, I believe, 12 games or 10 games or something simultaneously being broadcast. It is an incredible afternoon that we have, but a 40-point margin on Trinity's way. How'd you see that, Mick?
Oh, look, we've got the sun coming out again, Cale.
Oh, we were lucky.
We were lucky. We looked like getting a little bit wet, inclement. It was not to be. The difference here is the cleanliness of Trinity. They're the home team. But players like Emery, now, I haven't seen Alex Emery play too often. He's last year's best and fairest winner, but I alluded to an earlier passage of play. He won a hard ball get south of the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. I watched his running patterns. He ended up on the 4th recipient going through centre-half forward. He knows his running patterns. He does it well. He's getting the football so many times and clean. And on the other end of the spectrum, at the other end, you've got blokes like Achard and Payman taking it lace out. We saw an earlier kick, which I described as killing 100 worms, but Trinity's process is just a class above Fitzroy at the moment. And they go in, as you alluded to, 50-10. Better players, I thought, for that quarter. Miles Scott, number 5. Dom Payman was on the end of it, but it's the work up the ground from players like Alex Emery that I alluded to, and also Louis Davidson's impressed me, number 1. But at the moment, it's how far Trinity.
Yeah, well, Trinity 40-point leaders at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back with second quarter action just a couple of minutes as we take a short break. But it's 8-2-50 Old Trinity, 1-4-10 Fitzroy at the end of the first.
walk in, and they all feel Nicky. You want to call the first? She said, what, lifestyle change? I said, yes. And I said, you haven't, she said, no, who's your first? You can call it the strike change. I said, I'm not. I would have said yes, darling. Normally stakes day. A mate of mine goes, killing 100 worms, love it, the dulcet tone. He's in New South Wales listening to the call.
The Harveys look up the team, the boys who do it, a bunch of tricks on the side of the road with hula hoops and bowling things and soccer ball in the head. Hopefully the game did today. Last time we played against Hawthorn,
I've never called this box for us, that's you and me. We could have it.
There we go.
Continually breaking 50 yards. Yeah. Unique.
Mine's this one. Mine runs along the top. Oh, there we go. The old tangle.
As the teams make their way back to the middle of the ground here for second quarter action on the VAFA Premier B match of the day on VAFA TV. And it's the Premier B Showcase Round, which is a great initiative put together by, obviously, the broadcasting crew behind the scenes at the VAFA, the VAFA, and obviously it's also a great opportunity for myself and Mick to spearhead what is going to be hopefully a very entertaining second quarter. It was all old Trinity in the first to the tune of 8-2-50 to 1-4-10. They lead by 40 points. And a game where you tipped a 7-goal margin. We're right about on that at the moment, so well done to you. But will it stay that way as the ball's about to be raised to start the second quarter?
Four inside bottom looking sideways. The goal umpire's ready. He's got the air conveyance ready to go here. Second quarter, Miles Oval. Trinity v Fitzroy. Radio rental car scoreboard 8250 1410.
It should be a very, very entertaining second quarter as both teams trying to win the scrap in the middle of the ground. Nelson's in there. Strachan's in there. Fired the handball back. They're retreating for the moment. Burke. First time I've called his name this afternoon. Fed it wide, and now they go up to half forward. Great fly at the back there. Harry Corliss on debut. How about that?
Oh, he used the young fella
I think
from
gives
Trinity
the
as a
handball
stepladder.
off. Gave the hands to Ramshaw, and the ball bounces home.
Harry Coolers take a bow. Up, up, up and away.
Well, I wouldn't give the handball after a mark like that personally, but gave the handball off, and thankfully, Lad Ramshaw is obviously very good footballer, able to deliver from 50, got a favourable bounce and a good bit of shepherding on the boundary line. But well, we've talked about him being lively in the first quarter and then just not coming to hand. Had an opportunity at goal, which sprayed to the left-hand side, but he's found a bit of ticker there and takes an incredible mark as the ball's brought back into the middle of the ground. Feeds it back to Strachan, who pumps it long. It's all Fitzroy in this first quarter. Corliss again through his legs. That probably high. Oh, the umpire said holding the football. Looked like he got him around the neck to my angle, but this is going to be some sort of minute and a half for Harry Corliss, who lays the tackle and now has a shot from pretty much the same spot where he would have had to have had the one from about a minute ago, and he's not going to give the handball this time.
You wouldn't have thought so, Cale. A good piece of work by Connor Lester deep in the goal square of the previous goal. He held out the Fitzroy defender, the Trinity defenders, which saw that one just go over the top of the fingers as Koulis comes in.
Making an instant impact on debut. This one just pushed to the right and will be out of bounds on the full. Looked like they were gesturing for a minor score.
He'd be disappointed with that.
Hasn't been able to hit the scoreboard, unfortunately, Harry, but has been everywhere so far. Could have kicked 2 or 3 so far in this game, and obviously that cracking mark.
Yes, he's like a cork in the ocean. He's bobbing up everywhere.
I love that. That's very good. I'm going to use that sometime. Ball goes long down the line. Well, it's a block going the way of Trinity. Looked like it was a genuine attempt from Lowry out the back. Just jumped from 4 deep, and Strachan did take the mark. But it's going Trinity's way in the hands of Edward Charters. Kick 2 this afternoon. Goes back inboard. Great football there to Charlie Comer, who goes back inside. Manasakis now in the middle of the ground. Had a good run and dash through the middle of this beautiful Trinity Oval. They set up a goal as Lewis Davidson. So a lot of kicking, but not a lot of territory taken. They're just going sideways. This one to Oliver Scott.
I'd like to see a little bit more exhilarating football, Carl. Let's press the pedal and go.
Oh, Fitzroy have jumped them so far in this second quarter. Look at the bodywork, and umpire set a free kick. So Harrison Thompson will have that mark taken away from him.
I watched the Penrith Panthers the other night. They ricocheted that ball from one side of the ground to the other in scintillating fashion.
They're a clinical NRL side, the Penrith Panthers.
They are indeed.
They're so good. They're
didn't they come with a run the last 6 or 7 weeks?
Yes. Oh, look, it's one of those. They're obviously a very, but the correct word is a dynasty. I think they've won 4 straight now. So they're
indeed and threatening for 5.
Continuing to press the agenda.
The ball's here on the half forward flank for the Roys.
Well, it's gone up in the air. It's a very shallow throw in, but Strachan works his way to the front. Was up against Thompson. Now a tackle applied at the probably just about 53 metres out from goal here, as the sun unfortunately shining directly in our eyes, but it is out, so there's positives to be made from these situations. We'll go on about the weather a lot because I'm a bit of a sook when it comes to cold weather. Anyway, good handball inside from Grace. Umpire paid advantage. Strachan able to balance up from 47. Sends it goal when it fades to the top of the square. Good fist put into it. Kelly with time. Handball back inside. Harwood has an opportunity here to the top of the square. Through hands. Now picked up cleanly there by Nelson. Wins himself a high free kick and will have a shot for Fitzroy's second of the term. And gee, aren't they looking impressive so far?
Well, they're just showing a little bit more demon in them, if you like. They are having a red-hot crack this quarter. They do have perhaps a little bit of a breeze at their back, but you wouldn't talk about it in terms of 5 to 10 goal breezes. But they are just having a few moments here and to be rewarded.
Well,
Hopefully.
Miles Nelson just hooked to the left. Unfortunate, because it was a very gettable one, and they're going to need to take every opportunity that they have. So, a little bit of a scoreboard update.
Ones, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Just goals that you'd expect them to kick. So, the scoreboard update, 8-2-50, 2-4-16, or about to tick over to 2-5-17. So, a 33-point margin. That's obviously thanks to Fitzroy IT. And the second quarter scoreboard update is the ball's in the back pocket here with Charlie Como, who's been very good so far in this game of football. I did joke about it being a 7-goal breeze. And Oliver Scott now with it. Pulls onto the left. It's a lace out to Davidson.
He's clean, this young fellow, Davidson.
Very silky footballer.
Yeah, and that's no exception. That kick is a beautiful, threaded the needle there.
Teal goes inside, not to be mistaken with blue. Colour joke, anyway. They're just stunted at half-back for the moment, which they have been for the last couple of minutes, Trinity. The structure behind the ball is very, very good here from Fitzroy. Now they're going to bite one down the line. Very good. Charlie Wen comes up and takes the mark.
Davidson worked that football or orchestrated it from one half-back flank to the other, and he's now looking for it in the half-forward pocket. Great running.
Well, there's got no options here, Trinity, so they've had to bite off a short one. Umpire said not 15. The kick come off the boot of Scott. Oliver Scott it is, number 4, not to be confused with Mild Scott, number 5. They're just messing about with the football here as the ball is just parked there in front of Fitzroy's bench, and then, or rather Trinity's bench it is. It's so hard to see. There's so many players there. They're like specks on the outer side of the ground.
A lot of appeals for holding the football there from the Roy boys, but it's all to no avail as the umpire says it's mine.
Well, we'll have a throw in here. Strachan and Thompson doing ruck battles. Thompson palmed it down, trying to get the ball going their way as the umpire has paid a free kick here for a hold, going the way of Fitzroy. And now the flood is on. Very aggressive kick into the middle of the ground. And guess who? Harry Coulis, who's been absolutely dynamite in this second quarter. That a risky kick. Sold his forward into a bit of trouble. Coming through Taba. Got the handballs out the back. Now Shepherd breaks a tackle. Then tried to fire a handball towards Lowry, who was wrapped up in a tackle. And frenetic ball movement there from Fitzroy. They've worked it to half forward and got a stoppage.
Yeah, a little bit going on there after that tackle into the ground.
Oh, front position there, Thompson. Fitzroy all over him at the moment. They're trying to cause a shock win here. They are 30, well, they're saying 34 points down. I'm certain it's 33. It's a very, very, very contentious free kick has gone down below us. The crowd not happy with that one. That's a very good kick. Emery immediately reels and goes. Peel one off inside. Barrendert now takes on a tackler as Thompson rather. Little skidder. Look at Jenkins fighting his way through. It's actually Wen rather. They're pretty similar looking boys is Jenkins and Wen. They're both small. They both have a 5 at the end of their jumper. One's a 1, one's a 2.
Ball at centre half forward for Trinity.
Well, 2 rucks dueling again. Trinity just have to find a way to continue their scoreboard impact because Fitzroy's winning the territory battle. This is the first time they've had a repeat stoppage inside their forward 50.
Yeah, look, Carl, you're right. Just Fitzroy have had all of the play this quarter, and they've got 1 goal to show for it. Well, we've gone about 5 or 6, 7 minutes into 7 minutes now into the second term.
That's a good kick towards the pocket for Payman. Gets over the back anyway, and Emery did all the body work and takes the mark, a kick of about 30 metres. And a very nice 45-degree angle for you. Maybe if you're very specific on angles, you could almost go 55 degrees. I'm not very good with degrees. Was that?
With degrees? Oh, it's about a 45-degree
angle.
Okay,
we'll go on my first one.
It is in the very, very good hands of the best and fairest winner from 2024, I should say, Alex Emery. He's going to elect to go round the corner.
Well,
and he's kicking from about 35.
The banana from 40 out. It's a very, very impressive one as Emery round the body, touched off the boot, didn't have the distance either. So
not enough height on that one, Cale.
Well, it makes you question whether he made the right decision there going for the around the body.
Yes, he's a lovely kick of the football. A drop punt might have been the answer there.
But it's
however, not to be.
Well, it's unfortunately the way the game goes nowadays with this new modern style of football that people, as this ball's marked by Tom Wen.
I can understand it though, Cale. If I had a fellow lining up from 30 in front or just offline, the way to go these days is to kick it around the corner.
Yeah, well, it's been a bit of a phenomenon in football nowadays. This ball astutely kicks back. Evans put under a lot of pressure and he's gone. That's questionable. The umpire will pay the free. Trinity with options of plenty inside 50 there.
They're
trying to leave a bit of space open here for Payman, who goes up again, but not given the football. Just trying to have a shot here. I'm just trying to find the number here. Might be Charlie Wen.
See, he's given it.
Pumps it long. Payman out the back. Might have got boots of ball at the end of that. Umpire says no, and it'll be a behind. So,
a minor.
It's 8-4, 52, 2-4, 16. And the margin sits at an even 6 goals. If you're a fan of Old Trinity, you're happy?
Well, I think you would be. Fitzroy, for all their play, have got one straight. Trinity have kicked 2 points this term. And 11 and a half minutes has almost elapsed in the second.
And it's in the hands now of Fitzroy, but that is a wrapping tackle in the middle of the ground. It's Davidson, who is about 48 metres out from goal where the mark is. He'll kick beyond 50. And Louis Davidson's had some sort of afternoon.
Oh, he certainly has, Cale.
That sun pops through behind the dark clouds again, so it's a tedious day here.
This would be some kick for the little fella. He's only around 5'8".
Yeah, he's small, but no wind about, and it's going to have to be a very true 50-metre plus kick.
It's going to have to be exactly right, a very true 50. No, he elects to go short, and there's the lead.
Well, I believe he's popped that straight into the chest of guess who? Jack Jenkins has had some sort of afternoon. He's pressing his case to be the player of the day, as we'll obviously take delight in doing the player of the day at the end of the broadcast. But we've got a couple of hands being put up there. Louis Davidson, the deliverer, and Jenkins on the receiving end.
Yeah, spot on, Cale. And Jenkins will come in, and he'll kick from around about 38, 39 on the left.
Jenkins, strong pursuit, and it's dead straight, no doubt about that. And Trinity, after an early push from Fitzroy, unfortunately unable to capitalise on the opportunities they were given. They have got their first of the afternoon, their first of the second quarter. Old Trinity, it's not their first of the afternoon, it's their 9th, as they push out to a 42-point advantage.
The hard thing for Fitzroy is that now you're seeing Trinity replicate what they did in the first quarter by ball use. It's pretty good. It's not spot on, but they're just their use of the football, where they go, the running patterns, and the space that they've got. And as we go to the Vane Stakes, we see that Jimmy Reckard has won the Vane Stakes at Caulfield, paying $3.40.
Look, I was on Tycoon Star, unfortunately, so that's not a very good result for myself, as Fitzroy won a free kick going their way. It's a game that just is teetering at the moment on this 40-point margin. Kicks a little bit shallow, but it might well work out because it's straight to the path of Nelson. Numbers are with Fitzroy around this football, trying to paddle it to himself, Johnson, and then wrapped up in a good tackle. So a bit of territory going Fitzroy's way, but it's been few and far between for them this afternoon. They dominated the first 3 or 4 minutes of this second quarter as Johnson is held and the umpire pays a free kick going his way. So Johnson right in front of us, nearly on the Trinity logo. It's about 10 metres to his left. Goes with a short pass to Nelson, who's found himself in a hole, 55 out. Has an option leading back to the goal square. It's a floater, bit of a mongrel inside 50. That's come off the boot.
Like a balloon.
Well, thought it was going to get to the boundary line as in and underneath all that coma. Fitzroy able to get this back central. Just past the hands there of Harwood, who's been lively early. Now Wen. Run from Littlefield, put it wide. Ferrier needs to go and does go. Let the ball hit the ground. Curtin, handball back over the top. Littlefield kept on running. in a paddock of space, goes inside 50, ball gets to the back, bounces off the chest of Scott.
And the Royals breathe a sigh of relief.
That they do, because that was dynamic ball movement from old Trinity, but just not able to get the finishing touches on it. Would have pushed the margin to 48.
Littlefield was breaking off half-back flank there like a stall
Could have probably
gift
had a bounce and kept going.
He could have had a bounce if he wanted to. You'd set him for the stall gift on that showing down the far outside part of the ground.
Well, I'd be putting Littlefield at the handicap. I'd be putting Littlefield behind Gout. He'd mow him down. Well, Fitzroy have found their way here to pretty much true centre wing, out of side. No options further afield. That's not a very good kick. This is going to get cut off here, going old Trinity's way. Unfortunately, though, a free kick for a dump off the football.
Using a little bit of racing parlance there, Cale. I think he might have been out of his depth.
Not in a good way. As the kick goes inside 50, they're going to stop play for an injured player here, which is something you never like to see. Just a little bit of a dump off the ball and a bit of argy-bargy going on as well. We're just trying to find out who this might be. And doesn't look very good. Player hasn't moved since the incident, and there might be a suspension on the cards here. I didn't really see what happened. Unfortunately, I was following the football where the kick was sent into the middle of the ground. We're just waiting. We'll have a fairly big stoppage of play here while we work on the injured player is attended to. It's never nice to see that sort of stuff happen. So that's a positive. Well wishes. It's
he's up now. He's sitting up.
Look, that's very good to see in the context of that. Hits like that off the ball are obviously never welcome on a football field. Some of them obviously incidental, some of them can be purposeful, but we're not suggesting anything in regard to that incident. It's just it's an unfortunate one when someone goes to ground with that with a serious head injury. It's never a nice one to see. But fingers crossed for all parties involved. And obviously, I said I can't comment on the incident because I didn't see it happen. It could have been purely incidental, and stuff like that does happen.
I think a good sign, Carl, players aren't remonstrating.
Yes, that's a very good sign. It seems very calm.
The young lad's up on his feet now and being walked to the boundary line. And I think from there, number 37 for Fitzroy.
Sam Jordan, who has obviously been a solid contributor this afternoon and is able to...
He's walking off the ground and...
walk off on his own accord as the kick comes off the boot of Shepherd, deep inside 50, big pack forms. They all converged on that one contest. Little handball to Nelson, tried to slip a tackler, gave the handball wide. That's a high free kick going the way of Shepherd. The old Jack Ginnivan, Nick Watson. If you drop one, you get one high. That's it is the rule, but some people don't like seeing it. And he looks like he's shaping for the banana as well here, Shepherd. No. Going back for a drop punt now, just maybe fiddling with the football and cleaning it off.
It was the right call. Gina, one of our very best umpires, VAFA football. Gina is on the VAFA Umpires Association Committee. She does a wonderful job, and with the Umpire Association, the presentation night for them next Thursday night at the Hyatt. We wish them well.
Well, it's a big kick here for Daniel Shepherd. 30 out. It's kicked it very, very truly. And their third goal of the afternoon, Fitzroy, and they hang about. I know it's a 40-point margin, but they're there or thereabouts now, 6 goals rather, adjacent 36-point margin going the way of Old Trinity, 9-4-58 to 3-4-22. And I'm so lucky to be joined by Mick Egan this afternoon. A wealth of knowledge, plenty of stories, coached for... 20 years, you tell me.
Oh, maybe not 20, on and off, but I have had the delight this afternoon of running into Manny Nicolosi, team manager for Old Trinity. Manny was a stalwart in the 90s for Old Zavs in the reserves teams. He would kick many, many goals. And also running into Scott Duthie today, a champion for Scotch Old Boys who made the 1996 VAFA side of the year, kicking around 60 to 70 for a short mid-forward. In the forward pocket for Scotch. Reaching out to those boys. Lovely to see you today, Manny and Scotty.
Well, free kick going Trinity's way here. It's been a very well adjudicated game thus far. Quick handball there, Curtin. Want to get this ball on. Kick comes off the boot of Davidson, who sends it very long and wide. He wants it back, Davidson. Look at the work rate. Screaming for it back inboard. Instead, they're going to go long and direct. Up in the direction of Payman, who has the leap. Got both hands to it. Couldn't bring it down. Evans, they're trying to work this out. Taba goes long. This is coming back, though. So repeat entries for Trinity finally, who are able to lock it in their forward half. This kick up central for Payman again, who has a bit of a break on his man. Ball gets to the bottom of the pack and then wrapped up in a little bit of a tackle. So they'll bring this one to a stop about 20 metres out from Trinity's goal. Payman will do the rucking. It's a good little bit of a hand in there. And Ramshaw, they want to get it going their way now. Fitzroy. Kick up the line, though, very well marked from Teal, who has had a couple of good moments down in defence. Goes long and high. Payman front position. Payman with the mark. Max Ellis draped all over him, tried his might out to get a hand in there, but he kicked 5 last week. Dominic Payman lining up for number 3 this afternoon. Just too hard to stop.
Too big, too tall, perhaps a fraction too strong. But he is getting delivered. He is getting delivered the football in very good areas of the ground, and that came in from an angle to the fatter side of the ground.
An extraordinary long approach as well from Dominic Payman. He's gone to Ben Brown. He's kicking it about 20 metres out.
And Benny Brown.
His run up is as long as what the kick is.
Yeah, well, the big fella put the mitts up and it stuck. From 35 on release.
Payman, very good. Umpire shuffles, but it was always going through. No doubt in my mind, no doubt in his. And his 3rd of the afternoon. They push this margin back out to a 7 straight kick margin. And mixed prediction at the moment. At the 21-minute mark of the second quarter, a true 7 goals in the favour of Old Trinity over Fitzroy.
We could stop the race now. We'd line up in the pay queue.
Well,
what odds are they? Give it a name, any runner.
Unfortunately, they don't stop the race 700 metres out when you're 4 deep the trip and last. It's a shame. There's many a times where I've hoped that my sports bet account just forgets that I put the bet on when I'm last 4 deep or tucked in a pocket with 400 to go. Anyway,
you sound like me, Carl. You get them beaten.
Frontal from the stoppage there. Old Trinity. Charlie Wins won himself a free kick for a high tackle. Explosive burst. Davidson. His kick smothered. Fitzroy have the numbers here if they can counter-attack. Just not clean enough there. Was Lowry, then a very good tackle applied. It's rather Rex Richardson and a bit of argy-bargy at the end of that. Crowd seemed to love what's going on there. It was Richardson over Deuter.
Tommy Wynn was in there throwing a bit around.
As you do sometimes. You've got to love getting into it.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with what Tommy was doing. He was just separating players.
Thompson, the shimmy, the shake, gave it off to Teal. Teal, how far they appeal to the umpire. I agree. Sends it up to 40 out from goal. Trying to work this one out here. Fitzroy now past the hands, and now Lowry puts it out in front of Coulis, who's had a very, very good afternoon. Torba now. I'll send it up towards half forward. This should come back, though. Great pair of hands there, Comber, who's come in from the side and taken a mark. His kick a bit hot for Davidson. It's never too hot for Davidson. He marks. Sends it up to half forward. They have a spare if they can get and go quickly here. Teal just has to look.
He's made a mess of it.
Sends an absolute mongrel inside 50, and Fitzroy should repel the attack. Kick for Hart, a little bit hot.
Plenty of numbers out here on the grandstand wing in front of the broadcast box.
And
guess who's got it
backwards, and it's Davidson again, who is just getting more lively by the minute. The crowd erupts every time he touches the football. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's just in my head, but
he's been a class act today, Cale.
As Littlefield fans it wide. Belcher lowers the eyes. Kick was a little bit too hot there for Charlie Wen, but it's going to go back Fitzroy's way. They've got one-on-ones further afield. That's a nice little timely touch from Leicester. Got it going their way. In and underneath Harwood, who's been solid so far this afternoon. They keep it in here, Old Trinity. This kick up central, it's going to be cut off.
Cut off by Campbell Dida.
Dida's had a very good afternoon. That kick dangerous, Davidson. Well, if you're going to kick a dangerous ball like that, it's the right person to have underneath it. But
he's only a little fella, but you've got to admire him. He's clean, he's tough. He runs all day, he sets up the play, and no surprise, Trinity are out to the far wing.
Well, Thompson, his kick cut off, but Trinity able to work it well. Just seem to be playing a different game at the moment with how clean they are and how quick they're able to move the football. Good arch to the back there from Jenkins. Send it up towards half forward. Now past the hands of Scott. They're trying to work this out here, Trinity. Still with Scott. Breaks a tackle, then run down. So, trying to do a little bit too much with it there. They can afford to, obviously, being 7 goals up, but...
and again, the Roys breathe a sigh of relief.
They do.
They are under assault.
Oh, Ramshaw sends it even wider now to Ellis. They're trying to build their way out of it. They're trying to do is what our coach tells us. They're pulling it apart. Very good body work there from Turner. Now the run here from Grace. His kick there a little bit too hot for Harwood. Put it on his head, and now Rex Richardson tries to lace one out, but the kick is cut off. How about the bounce and the arch to the back from Ingpen?
Gee, that was a beautiful piece of play. He read that, took the middle of the high diddle through the centre of the ground on release.
Well, we've got 2 mark of the day contenders, and they're both just James Ingpen, who's just taken 2 absolute colossal marks.
Yes.
One back with the flight, Nick Rewald-esque, and that one a beautifully timely intercept mark at half back, and able to transition it to the outer wing. So Trinity, who have been a superior team so far this afternoon, that's good. Davidson able to open it up. They want to move the ball quickly. Bit of a bounce and run there in the middle of the ground here. Kick goes up in the direction of Payment, trying to work his way from the back. Very clean below his knees for a big man, but then was wrapped up in a tackle. And we'll have a stoppage, 45 out from Trinity's goal here. Their 42-point leaders, 10-4-64, 3-4-22 on the Fitzroy IT scoreboard. Payman appealed for a high free kick. Umpire didn't want to pay it to him, though. And we'll have another stoppage. Seems a little bit frustrated that he wasn't able to get that free kick, but all is well, it ends well.
About 35 out from the Trinity goal.
Ball goes up in dispute again. This kick going towards the face of goal. Boundary line beats them all. And we will have another stoppage. So, bit of a cool breeze just developing in the background. Very still day, though, here in Melbourne. It was a high of 14 degrees and expecting a little bit of heavy rain later. And if you're joining us on the live feed, hopefully you're all cozied up inside, whether that be on a couch or wrapped in a blanket somewhere, anywhere across the country. Vaffa Footy broadcast into many living rooms as Thompson comes full frontal at it. Look at the shake. Dumped off his direct opponent, Johnson, like it was nothing. Stood up and then kicked it sideways. That is a great rundown tackle. Manisakis just tried to do too much with it.
2 great efforts there by the young fella from Trinity. You can't pick him from that position, but it was a terrific effort. And the coach would be thoroughly pleased with that one.
Well, timely fist from Davidson, and then a very good tackle applied there. Here at half forward, it's Thompson, who's now just getting into a little bit of argy-bargy at the end of all that.
An injury update, thanks to Ortho Sport Victoria, a team of 13 skilled Melbourne orthopaedic surgeons specialising in treating musculoskeletal conditions and injuries.
We'll try to get one for the player who went down hurt. That's a very good mark, and guess who? He's just been absolutely extraordinary as the siren sounds. I believe it's Jack Jenkins again, who's just had an incredible afternoon. It is Jack Jenkins, so he'll line up for his second of the afternoon, or his third of the afternoon, I believe, for Jack Jenkins to try to join Payman with 3 for Trinity. As there's a bit of argy-bargy going on just beside the play. Jenkins just off a centre. We'll kick it from about 30. Siren has sounded, can't go off his line, the umpire's telling him, but after he kicks, we'll go to our halftime show. Jack Jenkins on the left from 35, it's just to the right, so a minor score to end what has been a fascinating half of football. Old Trinity threw all the punches in the first quarter, and Fitzroy fought back in the second quarter, and if you look at the first quarter score tally, it's a pretty level second quarter, one that was probably won by Fitzroy, I believe.
Yeah, you would have thought they had plenty of the play, Carl. It's a shame for them that they didn't get the score on the board, which they probably deserved early in the piece. We saw that passage of play stop with Sam Jordan, but he's walking across the ground now, so that's great for the Fitzroy crew that Sam is up and about and catching up with his mates in the centre of the square at the moment. At half-time, The score, VAFA scoreboard, 10-4-64. Trinity leading the Roys, 3-4-22. Better players at this stage for the Roys. Plenty better players this stage for the Roys, Cale. I've been impressed with Caleb Harwood. He's tried his heart out today up forward, Leper. The young fella Harry Coulis in his first game today. You've got to give him a tick here or there.
He's been incredible. Took a great mark, but then unfortunately, as so many people do when they take good marks, they give off the glory.
They do. Daniel Shepherd's been a live wire for them. And they've had 2 or 3 others. Max Ellis has battled well, as has Darcy Lowry down back. I mean, they got their work cut out up down back with the forwards for Trinity playing very good football based on the supply.
Well, as Fitzroy get the clap off the ground, it's a Fitzroy Fitzroy away game, with it being Old Trinity's home ground, but seem to have a lot of support. This halftime show is with many thanks to Young Henry's, proudly independent and best served loud, passionate brewers, distillers, artists and musicians, united for the love of good beer. Check them out at younghenrys.com and try Fitzroy Drought Beer on tap and in cans across the inner north. Sounds like my type of sponsorship, that one. As we'll go around the grounds here with some scores, as we've got a little bit of a scoreboard update. Caulfield Grammarians, they lead 34-30 over Old Camberwell, as we'll go down into obviously this game, which is in dispute. And then we look at the Hampton Rovers, who I have to play their cross-street rival, the Hampton Hammers, in the under-19s finals for Hyatt. They are down by 2 points at half-time to Old Melburnians, 52-50. So some close games across the round being broadcast here on Premier B week, as we go down to Williamstown Wise, or the Seawise versus Old Carey, and it's 49-34 in favour of Old Carey, 15-point leaders. And you can take away this last one. It's a very good game.
Yeah, top of the ladder. It's a cracking game, actually. Old Ivanhoe still live in the second quarter. They're 8-3-51, leading Old Geelong 7-6-48. At the home of the Hose, Chels Works Path, a magnificent, picturesque ground when you're down there on a sunny afternoon. Can be vitally cold and miserable if it's coming in left, right and centre. But it's not. The Hose, 51, top of the ladder, leading Old Geelong 48. And next week promises to be an absolute rip snorter. Here at Miles Oval, it'll be 1v2. Old Ivanhoe will play Trinity in what is a potential preview to the B-grade grand final.
Should be incredible, and it's going to be some sort of game of football. Old Trinity, they'll keep pace here with top spot with a win today. They're in the driver's seat here as we move into half-time. And back on the other side, the second half of what is a fascinating clash between two teams at very opposite ends of the spectrum, but a very even second quarter with the hope to provide a very even third. That is our halftime show. We'll join you for the third quarter in about 15 minutes' time.
Yeah, so no, so my old man trained racehorses. And then growing up, it was like I always just go to the races and stuff. Stuff riding a little stick horse around the house or around the stable. And a bit of commentating on it. And then I was always like, well, just do it for fun. Especially for home, nothing to do with racing or any sport. So I spent like 2 hours a day doing it. I got to about 17. And I sort of really got into it. I was very unsure about going to school, but it was just like, I didn't feel that like getting an education. To be honest with you, it's genuinely the best step in the world.
Boys,
Thank you so much.
would you like to come to the
I've got some hardy pies now.
Oh, if you want to run a few
One or two, that'd be great.
Done.
Legend. There was a bit of there was always a bit of interest in it, but it was like, where do I start? How do I get into it? And then get towards the end of the year, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm fairly confident I don't want to do it in school. So the guy said, what do you do? I said, well, how do you want? Really, Dad? I said, oh, it's, you know, and then I passed away, and that was literally last day of school. I was like, you know what? I used it as the catalyst to leave school, even though I already knew I wanted to. But it was like kick up the arse, like right, finish, just to do it. And so I left school, and I immediately started reaching out to racing clubs, going out with the first one I reached out to, and then I back there and they went, oh, yeah, this spot here, shuttle on the board if you want. And so I did straight away, and I built an amazing connection there because all the people from the big leagues recommended me up the chain, and they let me start doing races, and the rest is history. Good job.
From Whitefriars, who got the job. Got through Brian Martin. Brian's boy went to Whitefriars. I saw Brian about 6 years ago at a mate's funeral because he's the MC of the Springvale Crematorium. And I was talking to him and he said, Mick, you're still doing it? I said, no, I don't have the time. I've got a family, my wife's got cancer and, you know, you've got to spend it. And Josh is now 17, Beck's 24 and I type of got back into it with my wife and said, mate, no, we're not going to do that.
boys? I guarantee not to do the rest of it. Alright? You got waters?
Yeah, we've got water here. Clean day.
Yellow, do you need anything?
Thank you so
And
much.
so when
All good, guys?
Jace reached out 4 or 5 weeks ago, he said, Nick, we're going to go ahead.
that's more okay, especially if it's like working and stuff, and then at work as well. Most of them are look, I'm big on working in racing still while broadcasting horse racing because I find that it's got a different edge to it. What other people like that. Yeah, that's just me. I feel like I understand the horse more.
My interest in racing began when I was 5. My grandparents would take me to the races, predominantly Auckland, near their home in Brighton. And I was fascinated by this voice. I used to say to my grandpa, "Who's that?" And from there, it was natural to set up the table tennis table at home with old wooden blocks, which were the rails. And we as little kids, we're talking the 1960s, had cowboy and Indian little plastic horses. And I'd lined them all up, and they'd all had names. For hours I was talking in the room at the table tennis table. And Mum used to say, "Michael, you only spend 10% of the time concentrating on training."
It's pretty smart, yeah. That's what Mum said to me about my job. She goes, if you spend this much effort, it consumes my whole week.
Well, what do they say, Carl? They say if you love something.
I love it. I even said to, like, because I'm going to start doing greyhounds and stuff starting this week. I spend every hour, whether I'm calling or not, I spend the rest of the time watching it. Like, one, you pick up so much more when you're not doing it than when you are. It helps to be so knowledgeable about something that's doing the task.
It sure does.
Gee, that looked after us here.
Well, they don't, they what?
Keep warming up, guys. We're about to jump into Gazette.
Gazette. Brother got bashed the other night outside the casino at Southland.
That's like one of the most terrible things to hear, and it's still the most Melbourne thing.
It's just, it astounds me, Carl, how people can be charges like that.
Yeah.
Walking along Southland. He wasn't out for 55.
Yeah.
He couldn't fight for 6 foot. And he's come out of the sports bar, he's come down the escalators, he said goodbye to his mates, and he was the Lone Ranger walking to Flinders Street.
Yeah.
Well, it's well lit up. 11 o'clock.
I don't understand how this stuff happens.
Is it? 11 o'clock's not late. He's got stitches up here, swollen face.
It's genuinely horrible.
I said to him, "Mate, what happened?" He said, "The guy's no idea. They came from behind me."
Unfortunately, these horses like these wins, it'll be a break because it's 3 days of trip over the race after.
Signature central play right on the outside there is Chanel Reeves coming into it. Chanel Reeves, is it?
Yeah,
Chanel Reeves. My Gladiola is starting to roll. She is going to get up.
Oh, I thought it was Scotia's.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here for third quarter action. The VAFA Premier B match of the day on VAFA TV. We join you from a beautiful precinct here at Trinity College. We've got a footy oval in front of us. We've got a soccer field behind us and a hockey field over there. It's
we
fantastic.
do. And how was the delightful afternoon tea here at half time?
How wonderful of the people here at Trinity. They brought us over coffee and
we had quiches, party pies, sausage rolls and a Kit Kat with a beautiful hot coffee, and we're underway in the middle of the ground and the Roys go forward.
Well, we were very lucky to receive all that as Strachan sends it forward. So Fitzroy, they've been fast starters in these quarters. If you're just joining us, it's been all old Trinity as they try to funnel their way back through hands, and then a good bit of run there from Teal. The kick wide, bit too hot for Thompson, but won a free kick there for high contact as the rain starts to become a little bit more persistent this afternoon. It's been threatening on and off. Thompson down the line, a very good kick. Found Manasakis, who wants to give the handball off quickly to Davidson, and they go. Davidson dashing run, sends it up to half forward. Bit of a flyer from the back. Jenkins stayed down. A reefing tackle there from Scott, who's evasive, and then sends it wide. A very good kick. And it'll get to its intended target. And it's very good ball movement there from Old Trinity, and it's in the hands of Miles Scott.
Had a good day today, Miles. Hasn't hit the scoreboard yet.
That could well change with this kick here. We'll kick from about 50 right on that 50 logo. It's a dying art, the 50s being written into the arc. Unfortunately, we've seen in the AFL it's been replaced with sponsors.
Yep, Miles is a lovely kick of the football. He'll go with the left foot.
So Miles Scott, very direct approach on the left. Little bit of an arc now. He's got it very well. Bends back to perfection. Miles Scott puts the first on the board for Trinity of the quarter. And they push the margin out to an even 48. 8 straight kicks, 11-5, 71, 3-5, 23. And that is with thanks to Chemist Warehouse. So rather, Melbourne City Toyota for the third quarter scoreboard. I know it's thanks to Chemist Warehouse for the three-quarter time huddle report. But thanks to Melbourne City Toyota, the major partner of Old Trinity's annual golf day. I'd love to be a part of that. I love a bit of golf, don't you, Mick?
Oh, I love the annual golf day. In fact, my old boys are having a game of golf September 12 out at Spring Valley. That's the De La Salle Old Boys in conjunction with the colleges. The air conveyance went straight up in the air and it came out of the middle with Trinity.
Well, Trinity is starting to press the agenda when fired a handball forward. Manasakis, they're running on air at the moment. Trinity lace out inside 50. Dyder finds Emery. And this could be an ugly third quarter as the rain starts, not hailing down. It's not hailing just yet, but it's very, very wet. And we made comment about the paper on our table getting ruined. It's definitely going to be gone if this rain continues like it is.
We might have been able, if it was July, we might have been able to quote Slim Dusty. The rain tumbles down in July, but it's coming down in August, and it's coming down a little bit heavy now.
Well, Alex Emery, can he kick at 55? He's going to have to.
He will. A prodigious kick of the football. He sends it left, swinging. Just offline for a minor.
He had the trip. It looked good online. It's one of those things that now that this rain is unfortunately spraying directly down in our faces, it's suggesting exactly what that kick just showed, which is that there's going to be a little bit of a left to right breeze here as the kick goes short to Tarber in the pocket. And unfortunately, my sheets of paper are going to be absolutely ruined at the end of this. I've been lucky to last nearly 3 quarters here as they're trying to transition this one out, Trinity, through Angus Evans. It's been good this afternoon. Evans goes long, sends it up towards commentary side wing, and a very good set of hands there from Strachan, who we've called his name so many times, has been a freak. As we'll just try to shuffle our table out of the way of the elements here. Just trying to avoid these piece of paper getting wet. Jack Hart marked it and then sends it inside. Very good intercept. Jenkins so unlucky not to get a free kick now. Back in Trinity's hands anyway, so maybe the footy guys are looking over them, but Grace in pursuit of it. He's bumped off it. There's an injured player down here from Fitzroy in the middle of the ground. Doesn't look good here.
He's moving around. It's certainly not a head injury. He's feeling it, but he's on the ground. Trainers approaching the injured player for Fitzroy at the moment.
It's a shame we can't give you more accurate information of who it is, but an unfortunate injury, a second unfortunate injury for Fitzroy this afternoon. If you've just joined us, we're just in a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a pause due to an injury. It's never nice to see, so well wishes to a couple of the boys over at Fitzroy. And, well, it might be a good opportunity to recount some of the goal kickers and some of the good efforts this afternoon. Mick, over to you.
Thanks, Kyle. A couple of the goal kickers are few and far between for the Roys, but we've got one to Harrison Grace, one to Laird Ramshaw, and one to Daniel Shepherd. That's their three for the afternoon. On the other side of the ledger, well, there are goals 10 across the board for Trinity. To the better, Dom Payman's got 3, Jack Jenkins has got 2, and Ed Chard has got 2. And there's one apiece across to Miles Scott, Alex Emery, Louis Davidson, Ben Curtin. Sunshine starting to come out as number 23 for Fitzroy gets up on his feet. He'll head towards the boundary line, the big tall ruckman. He's just turned around there to have a word to a Trinity boy or two. There wasn't much in it, but he certainly let him know something.
A shame for Darcy Lowry, because he's been a name we've called a lot this afternoon. He's had a very good game for Fitzroy. They've had players that have stood up, and they're not as far out of it as probably what it suggested at the end of the first quarter, where they were down by 40-something points. They've kept pretty level pegging.
It is, Carl, but one of the unfortunate things here for Fitzroy is Darcy did represent the VAFA at the senior level, and so that's going to be a big loss for the rest of the afternoon if he is not able to return to the field.
Well, yet to see if that other injury that happened during the second quarter has resulted in a player being removed for the rest of the game. We're just looking over at their bench. They only look to have 2 on it currently, so it's obviously very hard to judge being this far away, but they might be already down a player. We'll try to get accurate information on that in the meantime, as the umpire's just waiting for the injured player, which is Darcy Lowry, to lead the field of play, and he'll kick the proceedings back off here. 2 rucks go at it. Thompson got a big fist in it against Strachan, who's been the best this afternoon, probably for Fitzroy. This kick goes up down the line, and umpire says, I'll have that one. Bounced in front of Corliss, who has been a revelation on debut. It's a fun time of year, finals football right around the corner, and if you're a fan of sort of other sports, the NFL's not far away as well. There's a lot of pre-season going on for that at the moment. There's a lot of good fun stuff to look forward to as Trinity try to handball their way through it. Wen gets inside to Davidson, wanted it back for a second. Davidson pirouettes outside. Dida gets it back to Davidson, who sends it on the right boot as the clatter of very strong rain and sunlight starts to mix in. Corliss with the mark right in front of us. You need a set of shades to commentate at the moment. Corliss goes inside. Harry Torber now bites off a short one. Ball in the hands here of Hamish Roy. He spreads it wide, so they've transitioned this one now. Now they take the corridor, Fitzroy. They send it up towards half forward. Trying to work their way through it. It's a bit scrappy here. Grace tried to go in and win it. It's all Trinity, though. They're very good in tight spaces. Thompson fed it to a teammate out wide, and that a good kick on the lead to Emery, but it bounced off his hands. And they're still in dispute on the outer wing here. We're just trying to extricate away, but both teams in and under, and they're the furthest most point away from us as the rain starts to come down a lot heavier, and unfortunately for me,
slippery conditions now, Kale.
Slippery conditions. The commentator's paper is getting saturated, and it's a good bit of fun. It's obviously a big thanks to have Mick beside me doing special comments, and it is obviously special comments thanks to, I actually can't even read it. I think it's MITIQ's Game-Changing Protect Concussion Management System. It's blurred out on my piece of paper due to all the wet, but it's obviously thanks
Use
to
the VAFA 50 to get $50 off at HITIQ.com.
Well,
the ball on the half-back flank. Fitzroy battling gamely to get the football clear, and they do.
Oh, they're trying their best here on this outer wing. It's impossible to see at the moment. The rain creating a very tedious position for us at the moment as the boundary liner went out. It's becoming ever so more difficult with these conditions as now the sun comes out. So try commentate a game of football in the pouring rain with sun in your face. It's
these conditions were made for me, Cale, in my heyday.
You know, I've always said to myself that I'm a better wet weather footballer than I am dry weather footballer, and I genuinely believe that's true, just due to the simple fact that in the wet weather, everyone's clumsy with the ball. So I don't have to worry about being clean. Anyway.
Yeah, well, it might become a game of soccer very soon. That ball has been on the deck for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, they're slipping about, struggling to keep their footing at the moment. If you actually look, well, it's sort of hard to tell over the broadcast, but to our direct eyes, you can see there's a lot of sand packed in underneath this grass. It's like it's just been reseeded recently.
Oh, it's a beautiful deck to play on. They say it is the exact diameter perimeter of the MCG as Trinity go forward to centre half forward.
Ball goes inside 50, gets to the back. Guess who? Jenkins raffles it into the square, and a goal to Trinity out of nothing, and it's kicked off the boot of Dominic Payman for his 4th in sync there. There you go.
4 for the day for Big Dom.
9 in the last 2 weeks.
VAFA scoreboard 11-6-7-2. Lead the Roys 3-5-23 in the third term. At the Miles Oval, Trinity, magnificent host, a beautiful afternoon tea at half-time. What was your favourite choice at half-time of those lovely
it's a very very good selection. I was a big fan of the quiche.
I thought the quiche was magnificent myself.
You can never go wrong with a quiche. It's the perfect blend of protein and bacon and pastry.
It is, and when you have a party pie, it can't burn the roof of your mouth.
Oh, well, that's the first thing that was said to me. And when I obviously was informed that the party pie wouldn't burn the roof of my mouth, I was thoroughly pleased.
Vaughan Summers has got control here in the middle of the ground. He's awarded the Roys with a free kick, and they go hastily through centre half forward.
Kick goes to the outer wing here. They're trying their best here to get some representation down inside that forward 50. Grace is down there, flew through hands. Trinity's so composed. At the back, able to equalise the situation and send it back up to half-back. Great bit of body work there from Ramshaw. Short ball inside's a good one. Now in the hands of Leicester. 55 out from goal, so he has to try to pick a teammate. He's got a very good pair of hands down there. And, we'll just wait to see. Could be Jack Hart. No, he's setting back to goal.
It was a beautifully weighted
It is
kick.
Harrison Grace who has stood down there after doing the work up the ground a little bit before. So
he has one to his name, Carl.
It is a very difficult kick, though. Hemmed in the pocket as the rain, which was persistent as anything about a minute ago, has completely stopped.
And has the wind. It's more or less perfect right now as Grace comes in from the half-forward flank, 35 kicking range. Slightly astray for a minor.
Fades to the right, unfortunately. There's no excuses with no wind and no rain. I find plenty of excuses. I actually got awarded a goal that came off my knee today. I think I've already said that, So I said that to the goal umpire before the game. I said, I got awarded a goal that came off my kney. It was going back. I grabbed it with both hands.
You've been extraordinarily unlucky, Carl, and you've had a goal not given to you that's hit the goal umpire's flag.
Yes, look, to be honest with you, I think it's fate equalising.
I think it's telling you one thing, Carl. Stick to commentating and calling.
It's telling me that I shouldn't be a forward. Anyway, a forward is kick as the kick goes back inside 50 Fitzroy's direction, cut off by Old Trinity. It's in the hands of, I believe, Malouche, or is that how we're going with it?
Malouche.
That's what we're running with. Anyway, so we're I think as a forward, I've probably got to give up because I've kicked 5 goals for the year. Set up plenty.
I think Fitzroy should look for the form forward here halfway to the third quarter and get the team manager from Trinity to go to full forward in the ex-champ from the 90s in Manny Nicolosi. A magnificent full forward for the old Zavs, albeit in the reserves. Well, Manny wouldn't be enjoying these conditions today, I can tell you.
Thompson set it up to half forward and Shard tried to fend off and was wrapped up in a very good tackle and pinged for holding the football. They tried to spread this wide. It's come unstuck, though. However, handball gets over the top. cut off by Jenkins. He's been everywhere today. Jenkins tries to slip the tackler, tries with all his might, and the umpire's pinged him. They're very hot on the holding the football today.
Well, I thought Vaughan Sidebottom was right there in his assessment of that one. He did try to shrug it.
As that ball goes
Hips
back
went one way, trying to get the tackler to go the other way, and it didn't come off. It's all to no avail, and the air conveyance is back with Vaughan at the moment. Half forward flank for Trinity, grandstand side.
Well, ball went up, and the big bit of body put on by Oliver Scott. He's just laid a massive bump. Davidson handball over the top, into the path of Manasakis. Swings on the left in the direction of Payman, and then the ball gets over and beats all comers to the boundary line. So in Trinity's forward half here, which is where the ball has been majority of these 2 and a bit quarters so far, or 2.5 quarters, we tick over 15 minutes played in the third. It's 12-6, 78, 3-6, 24. If you're just joining us, it's the second team on the ladder who are pressing their agenda for the top spot. And, well, as a team that's lowly in the ladder, as this ball comes back into play, Payman, ball goes the other way. Davidson immediately appeals for deliberate. Umpire's going to appease the situation. So Louis Davidson, 53 out from goal, has won himself a free, had went on short, said no.
It must be
pointing is Payman. He's just pointing. Instead, eventually goes to Ingpen. Probably not the best option. That kick off the deck might work out here for Fitzroy, though, because they're on the counter-attack. Corliss, massive bump. It was Rex Richardson in pursuit of that ball.
And
then got the smother.
Didn't.
Richardson palms it to himself. Runs to 50. Couldn't gather cleanly. He's done so many efforts in one there, as we've just seen down underneath us going into the rooms is Darcy Lowry after that massive hit that he received earlier in that second quarter. So they're down numbers on the bench. They are definitely down to 2. So that player who was injured in the second quarter didn't come back out. In the meantime, Ingpen tried to slip one. Now Davidson slipping, dancing, Dacos-esque, sends it into the middle of the ground. It's a very good kick. Manasaka, 60 from goal. Wants his left. Now pumps it long. Avoided the first option. Went the second option. Got it to him. Unfortunately, mark couldn't be completed. Look at the pressure back inside, though. Ball in the hands of Emery, wrapped up in a very good tackle. And it was Ellis who was in on top of him, and we'll have a stoppage 30 metres out from goal. So Fitzroy, unfortunately, down to 2 on their bench. So it's become hard work for them as this kick goes in the direction of Ellis. 2 hands to it, ball out the back. Just lightly tapped over by Julian Turner, who's happy to see it behind. So that breaks the even goal mark as it's 12-7, 79, 3-6, 24. 17.5 minutes gone in the third quarter as the ball comes out of halfback. Harwood sends it a bit long, a little bit too high as well. So Old Trinity to mop up. Hinson been everywhere, very distinguished with that helmet. Davidson, his handball a little bit too shallow, but got to its intended target. Belcher goes wider. Old Trinity pressing, back to Davidson. I'd love to see the champion data stats.
Oh, he'd be 20 plus now, surely, Kyle.
Incredible,
He's had his own football today.
Goes wider now, very good kick. Just does not seem to make an error. So silky. Silky smooth.
And as we say that, Davidson takes a spell. On the far wing, as Trinity go forward to the half-forward flank, to the outer side of the ground, it'll go over the line and out of bounds. The umpire will call mine.
And mine rightly so.
I looked at that earlier contest. Lockie Mulcahy could have made that a terrible incident, but he elected to turn sideways at the last minute, I think, being very polite. That boy from Fitzroy might have been in a terrible situation.
Well, there's unfortunately been a couple of big hits this afternoon, obviously due to no one's fault. It's a game of football. Stuff like this does happen. But it's good to see that Lockie Mulcahy able to look after one of his direct opponents. And I apologise to Lockie Mulcahy. I called him Lockie Malushi earlier. So we've recorrected that one. And anyway, Johnson in underneath it.
Oh, well, there's always a few names to test us. What about some of those horse names they call horses for the poor old race commentators? My goodness.
I'll get back to a story when we get a break in the play to tell you a good story about that. Anyway, quickly on the break here, Fitzroy kick just unfortunately got at the feet there of Rex Richardson. Wasn't able to gather it properly as the ball goes out of bounds. So funny story. So I've been petitioning for the last 2 months to Racing Victoria and my bosses at racing.com to there's obviously, for anyone who's a fan of horse racing, there's the website called Riser, where you can go on and check, obviously, all the form and dates for races and nominations and all that sort of stuff. So I've been starting a petition that they build into the coding of Riser a little thing where when you enter a horse's name for the first time and it goes into the website, you can put in a little voice clipping of how to properly pronunciate the horse's name.
That is a brilliant idea.
I thought it was very good. It's like they did it at the Olympics when all the Olympic athletes went overseas for the Paris Games. There was a website that all the broadcasters had access to, and so the Olympic athletes could drop in a little voice message of how to pronounce their name for all the international broadcasters. So I think it's a very good idea, and it's something people should jump on board with.
I love it. I love it, Cale. Fortunately, there's not too many difficult ones out here to pronounce today.
Yes, except, Malushi.
Manusakis.
Manusakis, that's very Greek.
Berengrege, Spencer Berengrege.
I'm assuming Christos Manusakis is Greek.
I would have thought so.
Yes, it's very...
Number 28, he's having a fine game today as the ball comes in from the outer wing.
Very good afternoon, you're right. Strachan's been very much wanting to just load the fist into it as a free kick goes Fitzroy's way.
And for our listeners at home, the ball has spent many a minute on the far wing, really having not gone anywhere for the last couple of minutes. But it's with Fitzroy, and they're about to go into attack.
Unfortunately, it looks to be, though, Darcy Lowry might be out for the game. He has come back out of the change rooms in plain gear. So I believe that's Darcy Lowry, at least by the looks of it. So it is. It's with the trainer. So unfortunately, looks to be done for the day. Obviously, that update is with thanks to Ortho Sport Victoria, a team of 13 skilled Melbourne orthopaedic surgeons specialising in treating musculoskeletal conditions and injuries. As Old Trinity have it in the middle of the ground. Hinson tried to pursue the football, bundled out of it now. They're trying their best here, Fitzroy, but seems to just not be falling their way at the moment as we tick over 20 minutes gone, third quarter.
Sam Jordan had a lot more time then, but he panicked at the last minute. And if the handball had landed, the Roys would have been probably having a shot. It's not to be.
Oh, a good bit of body here from Thompson in the ruck. Goes the way of Fitzroy again, though. They're trying their best. Hart able to slip a tackler. Gets a mongrelly sort of football inside 50. All the numbers, though, Trinity, when they spread it even wider now. Very good kick, Comer. Comer goes short. Just a little bit too hot for Oliver Scott. A timely fist, though.
In his third game, in his third senior game, young Charlie Comer.
Been very good. You've got some incredible stories, Mick, from your time coaching. Obviously, you coached St Kilda Next Gen Academy. You coached one of my very good mates, Harvey Langford, who's now playing for the Melbourne Demons. Actually has a game on in about 30 minutes. So you'd have some incredible stories about past players, current players. We can start to unpack it a little bit.
Look, I do. There's a couple at the moment. I mean, Archie Butler from Brighton Grammar is touted to go well. There's a boy from Wesley College, Lockie Hicks, 400, 800 champion as a junior, over many distances, 1500, the 100, the 200. He has given all forms of football away to concentrate on getting his body right. Unfortunately for Lockie, he's got a lot of injuries, but
that can happen sometimes, though.
Well, they're young kids.
Yes.
And they're doing a lot of sport. There's a young boy from East Malvern, Gustavo Teixeira. He has played some wonderful football for the Dragons and in a combined game for Victoria against Queensland last week. That's just a few of them going across the board. Another one from Haileybury College, George Dimer, a beautiful soccer player.
Well, Shepherd moaned down on the outer wing. We'll just try to look like Fitzroy run for a second. But yeah, you've obviously seen plenty of athletes in your time. I've obviously had the privilege of being pretty good mates with Harvey Langford, who obviously plays for Melbourne, as I just mentioned just before, and seeing that sort of process of him getting drafted and then now being, one of the best young players currently in the league. And obviously I played football for 6 or 7 years with a young man who will probably be drafted this year, and Noah Hibben-Hargraves, who, for a fun fact for people going around, as this ball was just in the middle of the ground, an opportunity for Fitzroy, lowering of the eyes, slipped through the hands there of Littlefield, and there's an opportunity here for Fitzroy, but it's coming back out Trinity's way. Comer just put under a timely amount of pressure. They try to surge it on. In and underneath here, and a stoppage you feel is coming in the middle of the ground. A little fun fact for you about Noah Hibben-Hargraves for when he goes around on draft night, which I really hope gets a mention. I played in a game with him 2.5 years ago. 2022, we were pressing for finals. We were playing the worst team in the competition. Similar situation to this, actually. We were second on the ladder. Noah was playing an age group up as Oliver Scott sends it inside 50. Ball gets to the back. Oh, 2 hands to it there, Payman. I'm really teasing the ending of this story. It's well and truly worth it, I promise you. We'll just keep up with the action here for a second. Emery, look at the pirouette, spinning, dancing. Sends him the wrong way, sent him the next. Dider from 50, squaring and ball. Curtin from the back, not able to mark. Through the hands again of Payman, who's been absolutely everywhere. And Fitzroy might repel the attack here as it comes out through the hands of Shepherd, sends it even wider to Torba. So now they've got it a half-back in a controlled situation. Noah is the year below me, so he's a year younger than me. He's playing an age group up because his old man coached us for most of my juniors.
What school did Noah go to?
He went to Padua College like myself, but now he attends Mornington Secondary.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Harvey Langford, Harvey come through Mornington Secondary. Noah's stepfather was our coach, most of my juniors. So Noah would play an age group up. He'd go and play his own age group, play an age group up. We were Division 4. Look, Division 4 was still very strong because everyone was just massively strong. The first 4 teams in Division 4 probably could have played in Division 2 and Division 1, but it just showed the strength of the competition. We had a practice match against a Division 1 side and won. So, anyway, Noah's come from his under-15s game as the kick goes in the direction of Harry Coulis. And Noah has kicked 13 in his under-15s game, then come and played in the under-17 and a halves game, so playing basically 2 age groups up, and goes out and kicks 20. Ball goes inside 50, a spearing ball and a great mark, Harrison Grace. So how's that for 33 goals in one day over 2 games?
That's a day out.
There was an article written about it in the news, and the game was being recorded, which we thought the best thing ever. So we made an absolute highlight package. I kicked 1 in that game. I assisted 2 to him. We made
assisted 2?
Assisted 2 of his 20.
Was it recorded in the stats, Carl?
No, unfortunately not. But I assisted 10% of his goals. Anyway, Grace from about 50.
Where do you think the young fella might go in the draft as the ball goes through the high diddles and a well-deserved goal for the Roys?
Well, that one, a good one to keep pace, just keeps them sort of just around. They're only 49 points down. It's been a very good effort here from Fitzroy to keep pace with Old Trinity, who have arguably just been the cleaner side. It's not been about who has the most football. It's just been who's been cleaner, and it's been Old Trinity. So, look, unfortunately for Noah, he was obviously playing Dandenong Stingrays at the age of 16. That shows the talent level. Played 2 or 3 games as a complete bottom ager. Then in his bottom age year, he played every single game that season. Was the youngest player in the Vic Country squad, which shows his talent. He was just highly touted. Kicked 4 goals and had 20 disposals for Vic Country against Western Australia. Unfortunately, did his AC joint, missed 6 weeks and got a bad concussion and missed out on playing in Richmond's VFL side. So he's gone from being potential top 5 to probably 15 to 20. But he's 188 centimetres. He's got a vertical leap that I reckon when they test at the combine, he'll be in the 40s. He's a ex-basketball background, and as Old Trinity go forward here, Ingpen got it wide. Coma kicked short there, just a bit hot for Embry. Ingpen coming through, winning a lot of the football here in the 3rd term, and wrapped up with a bit of a tackle, 45 up from goal. He's unfortunately probably going to drop a little bit just due to the injuries, but he'll probably go 15 to 20. And he's going to have a very, very good AFL career. He's got all the intangibles. He's an elite kick, an elite mark, can play as an undersized forward, can do it all.
Well, if he's going to go down the draft order, he might end up with your good mate Harvey Langford.
Look, he did train during the pre-season at Melbourne. So that's a good sign. I'd love to see him go to my mob Richmond. We need a player exactly like him, an incredible user, and just the height. He does things on a football field that just blow your mind. He's going to be a great footballer, and I'm confident he'll have a very, very good career. And I've been saying this since he was about 14.
Well, you're not often wrong, Carl. So we look forward to the future of this young bright prospect.
Yeah, Noah Eben Hargraves. Remember the name. He'll get picked up.
No Evans Hargraves. Sounds like you don't give Evans for Hargraves.
Well, his stepfather is, I've completely lost my train of thought. His stepfather's Mark Haynes, who played for Subiaco and actually beat out Matt Prittis for a best and fairest. There you go.
There you go. There's
Old Trinity are on the attack here. That handball inside opens the play right up. Emery can have a ping and misses to the right-hand side. Had teammates streaming back to goal. Probably chose the worst option of all of those.
He's had a pretty productive day, young Alex Emery. Last year's best and fairest for Trinity. He's showing them a clean pair of heels today.
It's going to be a pretty big last quarter here for Old Trinity. All the percentage that they can get out of this win is going to be very useful. Not saying they're a certainty to win, but they'll be very hard to beat.
I also think there might be a little bit of self-protection coming to the last quarter ahead of the big clash with Old Ivanhoe next week.
It is a big clash. There are top two teams, and to be scheduled this late in the season, whoever has put together the schedules, I don't know whether it's random or someone actually physically goes through and does it, but it's been very, very well put together to have these two teams meeting at the exact right time.
Yeah, look at some of the better players through this particular second half of the game, and for Trinity, none better than the young fellow. Who do you think I might mention? Louis Davidson. He's had a few breaks this quarter on and off the ground, but
you can afford to do that when
James
you're up by 50
James Ingpen off the half-back flank has been very sound. The Scott brothers, Oliver and Miles,
done very well
amongst the action. Charlie Wen, the under-19 captain, in for his third game of the season today.
Our under-19 captain has played a bit of ones this year. Charlie Aldridge at Hyatt. He's an incredible footballer. He's a seriously good footballer. He gets dropped back to the 19s and kicks 3 to 6 goals.
Yes.
And he goes up to the ones and he plays well. And he's back with the 19s now for our finals push. So should be very good for him.
Fantastic.
Ball in dispute here.
Carl, would you have a few boys from St Bede's at Hyatt?
Yeah, we would. Yeah, we'd have plenty. I actually don't know what school everyone goes to, but I'm highly certain at least half of them go to St Bede's. It's close. It is very close. And we've got a great group of people, whether that be bottom ages, top ages. Obviously, I'm going to get aged out at the end of this year. I'll go on to be reserves, thirds, or firsts.
Is there any money on offer per game for a player at Hyatt?
Yes, I am aware. If anyone is obviously interested in playing for Hyatt, we do obviously offer players, money to play, which you have to do to get players in the door. Is stretching a little pirouette. That kick not going to work out though, because it's cut off by Littlefield, who's had a very good quarter, and Comer, as the silence sounds. Yes, we seem to be offering people a solid amount to play for the club because we want to continue to build the seniors program and hold it in good stead for many years to come.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's certainly no surprise, but there is a lot of good money being offered around for 19, 20-year-olds playing in the VAFA.
Oh, I've got to start playing.
To play in the suburban football comps because I've got certainly plenty of information that young fellas are getting $300 to $400 a game, and when you're being offered that at 19, 20 and you're playing perhaps Premier Division with a club and you can't break into your seniors, it's hard for those young fellas to knock it back.
100%. $300, $400 a game is something at that age that you just say yes to. So, look, the end of the third quarter, as Zion has just sounded, it played over 31.5 minutes in that quarter, maybe 32 if you want to be exact, and it is a 56-point margin in favour of Old Trinity. 12-8, 80, 3-6, 24 at three-quarter time. As they'll head to the huddles, it's thanks to Chemist Warehouse, helping Old Trinity shine on and off the field. Matt Veroshi and the team played a huge role in installing new lights at Bulleen and are proud to be this year's short sponsor. So it's an incredibly big last quarter for Old Trinity, trying to get as much percentage out of this game as possible. We will join you guys back here for the start of the fourth quarter, which should begin in about 5 minutes' time as we're in the run home. It's Premier B Showcase Round. This is the VAFA Premier B match of the day.
Quarter time.
So, another team is going to kick 200 today. That was close enough.
We'll have a look at the.
Welcome back here for the fourth and final quarter of what has been a fantastic afternoon's worth of football here, the VAFA Premier B match of the day on VAFA TV. We join you here in the fourth quarter with this final quarter with thanks to Bendigo Bank, Clifton Hill, North Fitzroy, Community Bank, supporting Fitzroy Football Club for more than 10 years, focusing on player wellbeing initiatives. And as we come together here for the final term, it's a 50-point margin in favour of Old Trinity, 12-8-80, if you want to try to say that three times fast, to 4-6-30. So an even 50 as the siren sounds, and we'll throw to some around the grounds when we have all the scores accounted for. It's three-quarter time across the board for many a side. But in and underneath early, Oliver Scott. But it's Fitzroy breaking from the pack straight away onto the boot of Tabo. Goes very long from 55. And guess who? Louis Davidson on the last line gets a hand to it and is able to park it 5 deep into, if there was a stand, it would go into a stand. Parks it 5 deep into a tree.
Well, interesting scores around the grounds in B grade. The big game is Old Geelong. Old Ivanhoe 59, trailing Old Geelong three-quarter time 63,
wow,
which would put Old Geelong in the 4. Williamstown battling stoutly against Old Carey. It's only 7 points the difference there at
and
three-quarter
would that put Old Trinity top of the ladder?
It would put Old Trinity at the top of the ladder on, maybe not on percentage. It's 8% at the difference at the moment. They're not going to make up 7 or 8%. You wouldn't have thought on 80-30. It would depend on the Old Ivanhoe situation. Old Camberwell 60 lead, Caulfield Grammar 39, and OM's 45. Hampton Rovers is 64. Hampton Rovers 72. So at the moment, Old Geelong, depending on percentages, they could sneak into the 4 tonight. Old Camberwell may keep them out with their current lead on top of Caulfield Grammar.
And it'll be a massive shake-up to that final standings as it stands for the moment. So
yep. Zab's in a battle with Old Collegians, 49 apiece at three-quarter time.
Oh, it's a shame because Old Zabs, they're trying to keep pace with Old Brighton for those top 2 spots. And Old Brighton, well, they look to be runaway favourites at the moment with the William Buck Premier Men's Premiership. And in Premier B, seems to be getting tighter at the top. Old Ivanhoe and Old Trinity trying their absolute heart out here.
And yep, Carey and Williamstown fighting for that 4th position, both on 32. Carey leading 65-55 at orange time.
Well, Ben Littlefield happy to see that one over the boundary line as this first quarter just started with a little bit of a lull either side. There was a score, by the way, so whatever the scoreboard is reading is wrong. It is 4-7-31 to 12-8-80 with a behind being put through off the fist of Davidson at the 1 minute mark of the 4th quarter. In and underneath here, trying to extract it when Senza high up and under will bring the rain again, and a push out going against Jack Jenkins, who's had some sort of afternoon, been so lively. Fitzroy trying to figure this one out. Ball put on the head of Grace. Bit too tall for him. Out the back, Belcher. Spinning into it. And then wrapped up in a tackle directly in front of us. It was Shepherd who made that play with the tackle. So, we have 3 minutes gone here. Fourth quarter, rather. Not first term. If it was first term, we'd be here till 7 o'clock.
Spencer Berenjet doing the ruck then for Trinity as the ball goes to half forward.
It's up on the head there of Thompson, who had 2 to compete with. Did very well to bring it to ground. Trinity trying to scrap their way through this despite having the numbers. Jenkins, good pressure on. Grace, fighter handball. It comes off the boot there of Johnson. His kick a little bit too short for Stratch, and now they go the other way here, Old Trinity. Through the hands of Scott. Clean in tight, Littlefield. Had a very good second half. Sends it on the head of Thompson, and boundary line wins out.
Oh, Strawn made a mess of that on the wing position. That was probably the best threat of play from Fitzroy off the half-back flank. 2 or 3 handballs, then they were clean. That was a difference there. They threaded that ball up the wing position to Strawn. He went with one hand, and you can't do that with a slippery ball. They've paid the penalty back in the Trinity half-forward flank.
Well, the 2 rucks will do battle in the 50 now. We've got Rex Richardson right in front of us, stretching his legs for cramp on the outer wing.
Rexy Richardson.
Oh, Harrison Grace in the middle of the ground. Has a bounce, arches the back, sends the ball upfield, but no one there except Miles Scott for Old Trinity, so they try and send it back the other way, but it's still going Fitzroy's way. A bit of a surge mentality. Look at the speed and dare. First time we've seen that this afternoon. The lowering the eyes was good now, trying to pick out a teammate. Goes through the hands there of what looked to be Nelson, and then had Coulis on as an option.
Miles Scott clipped one there. The boy's okay. There wasn't a lot in it, but he did feel like giving him a little clip just to the wing. Nothing further.
Well, Davidson seems to be moved to half-back. Louis Davidson, they've said, you've had enough of the football. To half-back you go, where hopefully the ball won't be seen the whole quarter, but unfortunately he's still racking them up. So, give me some pretty good ranking points and stats, I reckon, for Louis Davidson.
It just tells you something about his intelligence. He's able to get the running patterns right, and there he is. While the ball is stationary on the far side of the ground, Louis Davidson is still running.
Oh, he's going to equalise at that stoppage with Evans, who's pushed up from half-back on the adjacent side of the ground. Now they go forward here, Fitzroy. That kick, just a little tumble punt, but might get to the back. Kelly went down and picked it up, and then was immediately besieged upon by a couple of tacklers, and we have a stoppage middle of the ground after about 5.5 that has been played in this last quarter. Jewel again. Strawn just able to power it forward. Ball gets to the back, but first there is Kurt, who sends it backwards. Now picked up by Wynn, who sends it out to the wing for Davidson. It's on repeat.
Sam Jordan's had a hard day today. He's battled hard. Not a lot of things have gone his way. Currently playing on the half-back flank for the Roys.
Ball goes up long down the line. Intended target there, Payman. But the intended target isn't received at the end, and the boundary line will win out as we've gone 6 minutes in this last quarter and full 15 local time here in Victoria, and what's become a very gloomy picture where there's so much promise earlier with the sun, but as this game's progressed on, it's had the potential to blow out on a number of occasions, but Fitzroy have held within 50 points, which after a 79-point loss last week, they consider this a win. There's positives and negatives in things like this.
Well, maybe Trinity, as we alluded to earlier, a little bit big game next week. They might be going through the motions now. We've ticked over nearly 7 minutes in the final quarter, and it's 12-8-80, 4-6-30.
Well, these 2 rucks will do battle again. Barrett in the middle of the ground. There's a bit of a wry hush that has fallen across this amazing sporting complex. Storm went up, so do Barrett. Couldn't get it down as we'll just keep up to date with some of these around the grounds. We obviously are broadcasting all these Premier B games simultaneously, so if you're flicking through each one, it's such good fun for people at home. As Old Geelong, 3 minutes into the last quarter, lead by 11, 10-10-70, plays 9-5, 59. So Old Ivanhoe is still a chance. Old Geelong, if you're a fan of Old Trinity, you'll be begging that they win. And Williamstown, Seawise, they are up by 2 points, 67 playing 65.
Across the road here at Carey.
Yes, at the 16.5-minute mark.
They're hard to beat there at home, Old Carey. That's a big effort from Williamstown today. Can they get the chocolates?
Well, this ball back in dispute here, going Old Trinity's way. Fitzroy trying their absolute hard out here. Ball in the hands now with Shepherd, who's had a lot of the football, sent into the pocket for Hart, but it's too tall and out of bounds.
Old Camberwell have kicked away from Caulfield Grammar.
29 point leaders rather. I'm reading that the wrong way. It's you know what? I'm gonna bat to my defence. I've been up for 12 hours already. Track work this morning. Played a game of footy. Now have to call a game of footy. The brain stops working at a certain point.
I wouldn't have thought so. You cannot lose interest in a game of football.
No, I'd never lose interest.
The ball comes in from the half-forward flank on the wing position between half-forward and wing. Trinity go forward. They go backwards. They go sideways. And it comes out onto the wing position now as the contest there between two players. I couldn't pick who that is there, Cale.
Well, it's Chard with the football in hand there for a moment.
And they're away now into the centre corridor, feeding to the outside, then to the inside, back to the inside. Take it away.
Well, Teal sent it long, streaming back in the 50s. Charlie Wen, and back with the flight, takes a superb mark. Will kick from about 30 metres out, directly in front. That was very good from you.
Clean piece of play there from Trinity.
You need a promotion from specials to play-by-play / specials.
We alluded earlier to the fact in the first quarter, and we reminded ourselves in the second quarter, the difference in this game is the tidy, clean play. Well, execution by hand, execution by foot is just at a different level to which Fitzroy have not been able to meet.
Oh, Charlie Wen loves it straight off the boot.
Charlie puts it through.
And he puts it through the middle. So
that's his first of the day.
Is it?
First of the day, the young under-19 captain.
Good on him. He's finished there, and rightly so. He'd be happy with that one, as this game is sort of just getting away from. Well, it was already away from Fitzroy, but the margin has potential to blow out here as we're.
It's hard to believe that's Trinity's first of the last quarter.
Well, they've had a lot of the football, and it's a game that's been very up and down the whole time. It's provided a lot of excitement there as Thompson. I'd probably count that as tunnelling, and then, well, Tom Wen gets his head ripped off and wins a free kick. Has a runner coming past. Littlefield who just pops it short. Onto the chest of Charlie Wen, that last goal kicker. Handball went wider, Dyer cut off. Now bursting through Jenkins. Back now to Wen. Goes up to 50. They're raffling between themselves at the moment. Curtin goes wide. Now Littlefield arches the back from 55. Sends it long. Payment, both hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Great set of hips there. Emery, snapping shot at goal, just to the left-hand side. Would have been a goal a day contender.
Yeah, he's been very solid, hasn't he, Cale Emery, all day. He's going to be a vital representative for the Mighty Tees come finals time, and he'll be expected to lift them next week against the Hose here at Marles.
Well, they try to move it quickly here, Fitzroy. Need to get some speed on the ball. That they're doing. Grace arches the back, breaks 3 tackles, run way too far, then bumped off it as he kicked. Umpire didn't pay holding the football. Up to half forward now for Old Trinity. Payman bodies him out of the way, then soccers it off the deck into the path of Davidson, who sends it up towards Emery, who will mark. It was clinical football there from Old Trinity, and they will line up to make it a 63-point margin. And he missed the last one. He shouldn't miss this.
They might run the Quinella today for Trinity's best 1 and 2. It would be, it'd pay about $1.65.
Alex Emery directly in front, about 5 metres out. Strikes it purely and puts it through. So the margin gets further ahead in favour of Old Trinity. They move to a 63-point ball game, with 14-9-93 on the board. If you're a fan of Old Trinity, to, I believe, 4-9. The score's just disappeared, so we'll just wait for correct confirmation of my hypothesis.
Your hypothesis?
Yeah, it's speaking very professionally. You know, I feel like the Old Trinity campus deserves my pure and utter professionalism. It's 4-6. There we go. Wrong side of 9.
They are the wrong side of 9. They are to the rears of 63 points. As Gina, the VAFA female umpire of the year, puts the air conveyance into the air, and Fitzroy rip it out of the middle and come out towards the wing position grandstand side. It's a beautiful little pass into the half forward flank. Goes in favour there of number 63, Rex Richardson, but he's been taken over the line, and it'll be a throw in on the half forward flank.
I think Hinson kept that one in. I don't know. I've got a great perspective of this. That ball looked like it was about
there
40
wasn't much in it,
centimetres
was there?
inside. Well, anyway, Thompson fends off his direct opponent with one arm in Leicester and kept the ball going Trinity's way. Now Leicester from 55 hit the belly of the football, squares it up. That is a very good contested mark from Strawn, who is pushed up to full forward and will make the play. And this should be a pretty... Well, I've said this a couple of times today. Should be a pretty easy one. No wind about.
Yeah, well, Taylor has been a solid key point around the ground for them today. He did make that mishap on the wing earlier with the one-handed attempt. He strolls in. This time it's straight over the umpire's head, through the high diddle-diddle, and it's a well-deserved fifth for the Roys. 5-6-36, trailing the Tees, 14-9-93. We've gone 14 minutes in the last term.
Well, it's a game that has sort of mingled around that 50-point margin. And, look, Old Trinity, they are clearly the better side. They're going to walk away with the 4 points. But if you're a fan of either team, obviously Fitzroy have shown plenty today. So there's positive going into next year despite being 2-13.
Oh, there is, Carl. Look, they've played 12 to 13 under-19s this year, and I think, to be fair, many sides would have. Whether you're an A, B or C, you do call on your juniors.
But there's also those players that you need to take the next step, and a lot of them are 19s.
Well, they are, and you need to give them an opportunity. Once you're out of the equation for finals, you've got to find a few that can play.
There's a good intercept mark there by Hinson as well in that back pocket, done very well. Short kick over the top to Dida. Now they're going to go the other way here. Great kick from Wen. No one down there, though, unfortunately. It's cut off. And that handball from what's come off Hamish Roy's hands. He wanted to give it to Julian Turner, who didn't realise the handball was imminent and didn't think it was coming his way. Anyway, Roy gets on the move.
Yes.
Sends it wide. The kick's got enough weight on it to get to the back. Now Jordan. We said he had a tough day. He's got an opportunity to have impact here. Short ball. Went the required 15, but was cut off. Now the ball goes back into the middle of the 50. They're trying with all their might, Fitzroy. That's a great squaring ball, and umpire doesn't pay the mark. Anyway, ball back in dispute. Coulis has been incredible. He goes to ground, looks to be hurt, which if it's an injury for Fitzroy, it might be down to one on the bench.
He might be feeling it in the furniture at the moment.
He's getting it up anyway. Kick goes inside off the boot of Leicester. 2 to compete with down there. Strawn does very well. Miles Scott happy to paddle it over.
Yeah, I think he's copped one in the furniture there, and he'll fix that up shortly.
Well, that's. I'm just reading the results of my league today, where the top team, Hampton Hammers, who've only lost one game this year, have lost in the final round to Endeavour Hills. So we're playing Endeavour next week. It's going to be good fun, that. Anyway. And it's going to be very, very good fun. This kick down the line. Gets to the back. Charlie Wen chasing. And the boundary will win out.
In the meantime, Old Geelong 85, Old Ivanhoe 72. 13 points, 16 minutes gone. Big game for the Hose. And Old Geelong, of course.
Well, it's a big game still to be played ahead. As you mentioned, it's fingers crossed for Old Trinity fans that they can get top spot at the end of this round.
Williamstown, 10 points the better of Old Carey at the 25-minute mark of the last quarter. There's an upset brewing.
Ball being brought up the ground here, and happy to see it out of play. There is Anthony Johnson, who's had a very good second half for Fitzroy. I'm obviously very interested to see how this game plays out with 18 gone here in the final term, and there's plenty of potential for Fitzroy to take a lot of merit from this performance, as Thompson tried to find a teammate, instead handled it up and down. They're trying to get it going forward again. Fitzroy, they've had a lot of entries. Ball gets to the back and Hinson takes the mark.
Yeah, led Ramshaw. He turned that over.
Well, they're getting the entries. It's just
They
the
are.
polish going inside 50.
Well, I think it comes down to, Carl, what we've said all day, the difference in skill level. As the Roys go into half-forward flank with a chain of handballs, but two of them are along the ground, and it makes it hard for the young fella, but he hooks it around the corner, and it'll be marked right on the goal line.
I think they come off the boot. There's Sam Jordan, who's just trying to create a few moments here in this last term after having a bit of a tough afternoon. Ball goes down the line, very well marked by Ben Curtin. He fake giving the handball there to Davidson. Sent the opposing player on roller skates, and then Davidson got the handball eventually, kicked it up in the direction of Dida, cut off. Fitzroy trying to get their structure back here as Nelson sent it wide. It's a juggling effort there from Johnson, who eventually claims the mark. Has a very distinct elbow strapping on that right elbow. He goes backwards, so no intent to want to push the ball further afield. Now they bite off the corridor one. Gets into the breadbasket of Burke, who then fans it even wider. So Fitzroy, good ball movement here and a good build-up. That kick trying to pinpoint the eyes out of it in the direction of, I believe, Harwood, but it gets to the back anyway. And once again, Hinson, who's probably taken 4 intercept marks this quarter, has cut it off.
He's been very good, Jack Hinson.
But in the meantime, second has come back the other way. Number 80, Leo second. Secon, second? Which one are you going with?
Number 80 for the Roys. I'll go with Secon.
Secon, okay.
Leo Secon.
He's done fantastic.
He's had 3 games this year, 7 in the reserves. And today's his third. He is dead in front, kicking from about 48.
Well, you need those players in your reserves to take the next step into the seniors. This is a good opportunity.
Very close to the man on the mark, and he's got it.
It's a very good opportunity for a reserves player to prove that he can make it at senior level. That's what we talk about in terms of positives to take out of situations and teams to take the next step. And that's a very, very, very positive thing to see from a player who's just playing his 4th seniors game of the season. Obviously only played 3 prior. That goal there with the final quarter scored update is thanks to Bendigo Bank, Clifton Hill, North Fitzroy. Community Bank supporting Fitzroy Football Club for more than 10 years, focusing on player wellbeing initiatives.
Great leg by Leo. That was a very, very good kick. That was a true test. Close enough to 50, just inside maybe 47, 48. Goalpost, just shy of goalpost height. So good leg.
And if we're looking at an injury update, which is thanks to Autosport Victoria, earlier in that last quarter, Darcy Lowry went down hurt and has since been.
The supporters don't like that one. That was right in front of the umpire's eyes. The supporters called ball. The umpire disagreed and called mine.
And so, yeah, Darcy Lowry it was who went down in that 3rd term, and he is out for the game. He walked past in a tracksuit, which is probably a smart decision given the current weather as a free kick goes Old Trinity's way. They're trying to get it going forward again. So they're down to 2 on their bench, Fitzroy, and so they put up a good effort to keep pace as much as what they have. Big leap in from the side. They're really throwing their weight around. Davidson, the closest player for Old Trinity, harassed him out of it. They're trying with all their might at the moment, Old Trinity, just to get one here. Wen goes forward of field. That's an easy mark to Edward Chard, who's just able to do all the body work and then complete the purchase on the end.
Yeah, just a bit too big and strong there in the hips, Ed. And he'll have a shot almost directly in front when he kicks from about 30.
If you look at the size of Edward Chart's legs, he's definitely seen a squat rack before. I'd love to know his leg press and squat rack numbers because he's got cannons. And the shoe on him proves just that. It's dead straight and carried about goalpost height. That is his 3rd of the afternoon. 4 to Payman, 3 to Chard. And obviously 2 to Jack Jenkins, who I think has been one of the best on ground so far. I think it's, you are right, could be a good Quinella there, 1-2, with Davidson as well playing his heart out.
And I might throw in 31. He's had a terrific game off halfback Ben Littlefield.
Well,
providing plenty of supply, but he's got some contenders. Oliver Scott and Miles Scott have been in the frame. Charlie Wynn. I mean, they've had plenty of people with plenty of their own football, if you like, at some stages today.
Oh, it's a big, big tackle applied there. Now Rex Richardson just wanting to hack it off the ground. Picked up here by Corliss for his first in his senior debut.
There he is. The young fella.
Finally gets the opportunity he's deserved, and a rapturous applause from the crowd on debut, playing his first game of senior footy, and he had an incredible mark earlier, gave the handball off. He's been lively, could have probably kicked 3 or 4, and he gets his first finally. It's a very, very good kick. Cuts the margin.
It was a pretty cool kick from the young Coulis.
I do like that. That's
Harry Coulis, take a bow, young fella. That's your first in senior football.
15-9, 99, 7-8-50, 49 points, ticking over 23 and a half played. Wouldn't be long left. It's been a very free-flowing quarter. And,
yeah, lovely to see all the Roys get down the ground and celebrate with Harry.
That's good. It is very good to see. It's great when you see the team get around and get behind the oppositioners. Immediately, old Trinity take it out of the guts. Payman the target. Taken out of an umpire. Didn't see it that way. Emery applied the pressure. Davidson's in there as well. They're retreating for the moment. Torba now goes backwards and across. Very good decision-making to Ramshaw, who sends it up the line to Grace. They want to take it on. Grace arches the back. He's done this a fair bit this afternoon. Then gave it to Richardson, who wants Grace again. Had Ramshaw running past, decided to use him. He was stringed in a tackle. Gave it back. Now the kick goes in the middle of the ground, but it's going to be cut off. It's in the hands of Scott. They can go fast. Got numbers streaming everywhere. It's got 3 or 4 spare. And a very good kick off the boot there of Manasakis. Tried to find payment. Off the boot now with Davidson, who has a prayer of goal. And falling back in the square is Chard for number 4.
A beautiful weighted kick by young Louis Davidson. He's done everything right today. He's in the frame. Well, this is VAFA footy at its brilliant best. B-grade Trinity Fitzroy, the Mighty Males Oval.
Chard put it through for number 4. Was never in doubt. And that is a big exclamation mark and a full stop on what has been a very good afternoon for the team who, well, we'll keep track of the scores. Might have an opportunity to go to top of the ladder at the end of this game, being up by 55 points, a good percentage boost and a loss.
He's a wizard, is Louis Davidson today. He's had his own footy.
It's going to be very interesting to see.
And the latest score, Old Ivanhoe, Old Geelong. Old Ivanhoe a point down at 25 minutes gone, 84, trail 85.
It should be a very, very good last 5 or so minutes in this game of football. Ball at the feet now of Curtin, who's gone to half forward. Great handball, Jordan. Carey running Corliss in the middle of the ground.
We're 35 minutes into the last quarter at Carey. Carey have just hit the front, 78-75.
Oh, Harrison Grace went short to Strawn. It's great to get these running scoreboard updates. Such a close competition across Premier B. Kick goes inside 50, cut off. Jack Hart, who's had a bit of a quiet afternoon, has been trying to get himself into it. He applied a good tackle. And
there's some unhappy children down in front of us. They're not happy with the results thus far.
Yes, that's how I used to react when Richmond would lose. It was
I cried many a time when Melbourne, all alone in my bedroom during my years of 10 to 15, trying to expect Melbourne to win a game. It did not happen.
Well, Jack Jenkins bit off a tough one inside to Curtin, and then Wen gave the handball off to Scott, and Scott sends it inside 50. Wanted Payman, bit too tall for him. Ball gets to the back. Alice let him pursue to it. Payman's still hunting. Back in the hands of Alice. He goes long down the line. Big fly at the back. They're trying with all their might here. Fitzroy just to keep up, but Old Trinity are running over the top of them at the moment. It's like Chautauqua mowing people down the last 400. Kick goes inside 50, and it is laced out.
It didn't kill any worms, but it wasn't too far away. A ripping, snorting pass into the hands of who only? Last year's best and fairest winner, Alex Emery. He'll line up from 45 when he kicks.
Oh, he kicked one just before inside the square. Very good football, this young bloke.
We go around the grounds, Old Ivanhoe and Geelong. 27 minutes gone. Old Geelong still lead 85-84.
Well, so close that game. And it's one of the ones to watch for the round. As in comes Emery.
Carey have prevailed. The final siren's gone. Carey wins 11-12, 7-8. Williamstown 11-9, 75. They've travelled a long way to lose that in the dying moments of the game. They'll be disappointed.
In the meantime, Emery's kick at goal was just touched on the line, so
he's kicked 2-4 today, young Alex. Well, you wouldn't call that a point against him, but we will. We'll register it up against his name.
Well,
he's been pretty busy.
As you can be sometimes. Lateral kick there from Burke was dangerous. Cut off by Emery. In and under now. Just been a late scratching for Sapels here in the PB Lawrence as they're about to jump as the ball goes out of bounds. Might give race calling. I actually called the Goodwood live on a VAFA call as well. I was on Giga Kick and I was trying to call.
Did it win?
Nah, you're on third. They're holding them for a start here at the 1400.
It ran third.
Well, we'll try to keep an eye on both as they're off. Desert Lightning got away well. The favourite Private Eye's gone forward. Here to Shock jumped away well. It's hard to do both. I'm trying to do both my jobs at once. This ball goes up onto the wing. Over the head there, Miles Scott. I've got to show everyone what I'm made of commentator-wise.
28 minutes in and Old Ivanhoe trailed by a point, Old Geelong. Still a point to the better of Old Geelong.
Well,
Old Geelong kick a goal. 13-13-91. Lead Old Ivanhoe 13-6-84. 29 minutes gone. That might see them home. Maybe.
Well, there's 800 to go in the PB Lawrence on my phone currently, and it's Private Eye in front of Here to Shock, the Desert Lightning. Yellow Sam's 1 out, 1 back. Evaporate the Rail Attrition. And then we get back to Pinstriped and the two Yulong horses are towards the back half. So it is the New South Wales Raider Private Eye. Joe Pride was runner-up in an Everest behind his stablemate only a couple of years ago, trying to recapture that form.
Joe Pride, as the ball's on the half-forward flank on the outer side of the ground here.
Well, they come right away from the fences. That inside's chopped out. Here to Shock, who was a winner at Pakenham in that $1 million new race, comes down the outside. Desert Lightning's gone back to the inner. Evaporate needs a gap, being laid in on top of by Yellow Sam, but Private Eye boots clear. 2 in front and has won the Group 2. It's a big return for him. Desert Lightning second. And pick your mind as they're going to run into an open goal here. The umpire's found a free kick.
Oh, he's plucked one here. Vaughan side bottom has picked one out for the Roys, and they're much relieved as they release the ball by the half-back flank and come to the outer side of the ground into the waiting arms there of Hamish Roy. Roy transfers the ball into the centre of the ground, but the curly red-headed mop, number 22 for Trinity, takes control of the football, and he sends that forward, which was Charlie Comer. And it's a mark at centre-half forward or a contest. Now the umpire is calling mine. Strong contest. Alex Emery gets up off the deck. Ball centre-half forward for Trinity.
Well, it's a good opportunity here. Ticking over towards the 31-minute mark. Shouldn't be long left. Davidson.
There he is.
Well, Bob's up at the right time,
There
does
he
Louis
is.
Davidson, and he has put on a best-on-ground performance.
He is like a cork in the ocean, young Louis Davidson. He might get the chocolates today.
It's going to be a decisive win for Old Trinity, and Old Geelong might just have held on. We'll keep a close eye on that because that means Old Trinity will leapfrog Old Ivanhoe to top of the ladder.
They will, Kyle, and you'd think that might be done, that game. It's
Well,
got
with 31 minutes gone
31
and time's
minutes
still
gone.
ticking.
It's 84-91.
You know, I'm not saying flick over to any other VAFA coverages. Obviously, continue to watch this game if you're a fan of either side. But if you're a fan of Old Trinity, I'd be getting the KO split screen out and Old Ivanhoe, Old Geelong on one screen and this game on another, because it is some sort of boil over as Scott breaks from the middle through the hands of Jenkins. His kick didn't come off that cleanly. They're running on top of air as the siren sounds, and Old Trinity have proved too strong for Fitzroy. They run out with a decisive, we go on 62-point win, 17-10-112 to 7-8-50. And a very
the
big
final
win.
margin was close to 42, out by 20. It looked a little bit longer than at quarter time when you suggested this might be 30-40 goals.
Well, it is a lot closer than what it looked like in the first term. But it's one of those sort of things that this game has just broken right apart. We're still waiting on the Old Geelong, Old Ivanhoe game to tick over to be done. It's the 32-minute mark, so it's final. So that means that Old Trinity are on top of the ladder. A big, big, big win by old Geelong has sealed old Ivanhoe to finish second. Well, not finish second, but currently sits second. So
beat Williamstown. OM steamed over the top of Hampton. Hampton came back late, and in the other match at Old Camberwell, the Wellers were too good for Caulfield Grammar, 80-46.
Well, as we enter our post-game show, the Stone Hotel is the sponsor of the post-game show. The Stone Hotel.
Mighty umpires come off the ground. We'll give them a round of applause.
They deserve one after the game. The Stone Hotel is a lively pub located in the heart of Fitzroy, offering a range of features and amenities, including a spacious function room. Check them out at thestonehotel.com. That is with thanks to them for our post-game show. We move across to our goal of the day. Plenty of options. Do we have one that's decisive over the other? Look, there was some very good goals kicked, but there's nothing that I can remember off the top of my head.
Well, there was a couple of good goals kicked early, but
Jack Jenkins streaming through from outer wing right in front of us. Handball receive, handball off, handball receive, shot a goal.
Yes.
That was very good.
There was a late goal in the day under pressure by a first gamer.
Yeah,
cool. Harry Coulis.
He also probably, as we move to the mark of the day, that goal of the day is sponsored by Smith for a trill, and then do we go to the mark of the day, which is the Snap Fitness 24/7 Fitzroy in Brunswick. That's the sponsor of the mark of the day, and he'll probably get that as well. Harry Coulis, he took an absolute screamer, and then to undercut his screamer, handballed it off. You can't do that. You got to go back and take the shot.
Well, we did acknowledge James Ingpen taking a couple of good marks.
He took an absolute screamer as well, going back with the flight Nick Rewald-S. So there's two absolute contenders there.
That was my probably choice of the day, going with the flight of the football in the opposite direction. And the Roys were away at that stage on the half-forward flank grandstand side position.
They were very much so. So we move across to the best on ground. Obviously, Old Trinity have a number of players that can bob up for this one. We got 3, 2, 1 starting at the top, 3 being the best.
3 being the best. Well, my choice, I think we're emphatic about it, was young Louis Davidson.
Yes, very much so.
Other contenders around the 2, Alex Emery, Ben Littlefield, to a lesser extent maybe Miles and Oliver Scott, but I think Alex Emery's got his nose in front for the silver medal today.
Yeah,
and
your
choice of third?
My choice of third, got to be Dominic Payment again. He's kicked 4. You can't discredit that. He kicked 5 last week, continuing the very good goal-kicking weeks that he has had, and it's good for this team. It's well done to them. They deserve it. They moved to 13-3 on the season, and they will be top of the ladder, which I think they'll find out as they come into the rooms.
Yes, well, it's going to be pretty tight percentage-wise. We could work it out here quickly. I think prior to today, Old Ivanhoe had an advantage of around about 10%, and they've lost only by a goal, and Trinity have made up 62 points at the better. So I'm punting that maybe Old Ivanhoe might still hold an advantage.
Yeah, they might. We'll have a look, obviously, in terms of that, as the officials will come through very shortly. But that is the post-game show wrapped up. It's been great to be next to Mick Hegan today. A wealth of knowledge, an incredible broadcaster in his own right, and it's good to have him back doing some broadcasting. And big thank you to Jason Bennett for everything he's done organising this Premier B showcase round. It's been all hands on deck. There's been a lot of people called upon to help fill roster spots to call games, as we've been obviously streaming every single game simultaneously. So a big thank you needs to go out to Jason Bennett, who in his own right is an incredible broadcaster, doing a lot of work for 7AFL and called that Nasiah Wangani Millera goal. And he's an absolute great broadcaster, should get plenty more opportunities calling the AFL, Jason, but he's a freak and does an amazing job with the broadcasting here at the VAFA. And look, as we wrap up the coverage, I'll leave you with one thing today, and that is that Old Trinity...
Old Trinity's percentage will be about 136. It still won't be enough to take over Old Ivanhoe, who'll drop a little bit, losing by a goal.
So next week is for a minor premiership, basically.
You would say so, Carl. 1v2 here at the Mighty Males Oval.
Well,
on that note,
we sign off from Carl Bennett and Mick Hegan. It's been an absolute pleasure, and our broadcasting from this Premier B match of the day on VAFA TV is about done and dusted.
Thank you for the afternoon, Carl. A wonderful afternoon of VAFA football.
Appreciate it, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Good on you.
One of my mates is going over to America to
his name?
His name's Pat Flood, and he used to go to. He actually used to go to St. Bede's. That's
How old was
funny
he?
you say that. He'd be 19. Yeah, he used to go to St. Bede's, and then he moved out my way and started going to. Patriot base. Patriot was his name. So he's a freakishly good tennis player.
Pat Cash and touring schoolboy championships at 15.
Well, look, I wish I was
Got beaten love and love.
I wish I was that good at tennis because he's an absolute gun.
No, what college is he going to?
I actually don't know. I've been asking tonight because he's been.
Yeah.
He's been. He posted a while ago, but yeah, it's his birthday / going away party. His birthday was only a week ago, so we're gonna all get together in his house. I don't know who I'm gonna do it because I need to go to getting. I don't know. We're doing something tonight for the best of the footy private hire. But I think I might have to give it a miss because I can't miss Pat's going away party. I won't see him for 4 years at least, and then if it's going well, I can't wait to see him. He'll become too good. Pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. Seriously. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
I'll take a lot of interest in your career.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have my moments where I'm magic, and I have my moments